Face is on.
We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the land of dreams and nightmares. I am Esper, your DM. Back, we have our three players as before. If you guys want to give a quick intro to your characters, whoever wants to go ahead.
Okay, I'll go
I'm
first.
Pointing at, so just like last time, I'm Adam, and I'm playing Kivish Alyavarden, Dwarven Circle of Dreams Druid.
Dennis?
Okay, hey, my name is Dennis, and I play Lykarr Talvantus, a level 5 Storm Sorcerer.
My name's Warsor. I play a level 5 Warlock hexblade named Noxiqual.
Last episode, the three characters made their way southeasterly through the Badlands of Merkelon's Jaw, rocky peninsula between the mountains. They traveled for, I think it was about 2.5 days.
3 days.
Till the Ambrosia Temple, where they found the legendary healing pool, Bone Dry. They also found that the temple priest and acolytes were unconscious. There were also some unconscious bodies down in the Undercroft. And Kivish, it was, determined that the statue of Morpheus is more than just a statue. It is the body of Morpheus, ancient and petrified. And through contact with the god, he and Lykarr entered into Morpheus's dream realm, where they met with the god. They spent some time there speaking with him. Noxiqual, a lovable warlock, he opted not to enter this god's realm. However, he did some investigating in the temple. There are still questions of where is the water. Well, they found out where the water is. It's in the Horncomb Lodge, but where specifically are they hiding it? What are its effects? Can the party take back the water? Can they get it to the temple? What about this wedding that's going to happen? Are the two characters going to marry Lord X's daughters? What about these strange effects that they're experiencing with aging there at the lodge? And amidst all of these strange developments, Tanyan fell in the middle of the night. A saber-toothed tiger pounced on him and carried him off into the darkness.
That's our story, and we're sticking to it.
So as we pick up now, the characters are essentially exiting the Ambrosia Temple.
Does anyone want to go back to the dream realm for anything while we're here?
I mean, I'd like to go back there permanently at some point, but
Oh, well, that's...
Yes, the Druid of the Circle of Dreams has tasted that sweet divine dream, and his destiny may eventually call him there, but for now, there are other matters at hand that are unresolved and of great importance.
Indeed.
Well, now it's early in the day as you all are leaving the Ambrosia Temple. You and Kobe the Lion, the one surviving crew member of your party here, are heading back in a north by northwesterly trajectory, making your way through these dry and rocky lands here, scarps and rock formations, and eventually craggy, sharp mountains rise up to both left and right-hand sides. There was an area of rather difficult ground that you had passed through to get into this area. Boulders and sinkholes betwixt them. You are approaching this ground once again. You see it as you are traveling. There there. You can probably spot it nearly a mile away. Pretty flat ground between the mountains here. At this point, you are aware of an approaching group. You see what appears to be two people and some kind of animal approaching you. So they are coming from the direction of the boulder and sinkhole, from the broken ground. They are headed your direction.
Yes.
Oh, the unrelated thing, but I don't want to forget. Noxiqual, did you take with you these assortment of parchments that the priest Cairo Horton had been scrawling on for some time?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I even wrote it down.
Okay.
Because I figured while my time is limited there in the temple, I could go over them as we travel back a little bit each night, looking for any clues to the temple at the end of the world.
Nox reviews the parchments as the party travels when he has some free moments, and we can touch back on that a little bit later on. Then, so for now, this group is approaching you all. They're quite a ways in the distance yet.
You see those folks coming towards us.
I'm not sure what business they mean, but
There's only one business that they could be taking them down here. Must be head to the temple.
So what do they look like, aside from just people? Is there anything distinctively identifying about them?
You can wait for them to get closer, or you can make a perception check to try to make out details at this far, far distance. At the moment, they're probably a good half-mile away.
Sure, I'll attempt that. Might not
18.
be.
I forgot my dice upstairs. I'm using an electronic roller.
Okay.
I got a 16.
Okay, you have a 16.
I have an 18.
Nox has an 18. Lykarr?
16.
Okay, 16 as well. Two of them are definitely people. They're walking around on two legs like people do. And the other one, maybe it's some kind of large dog. It doesn't seem as big as it doesn't seem big enough to be a horse, and nobody's riding on it.
They look like gnolls.
So, if you just want to wait, they're going to get closer because they're heading right in your direction.
Seems like a good idea to stop and kind of eye them up.
Okay, so Kobe, he's got a hand on the pommel of his cutlass. Oh, you just say the word, boss. I'll go and slash him down.
Hold your place, Kobe. Let them come to us, and we'll cut them down if there's any trouble.
The approaching group comes within, we'll say, speaking distance, but they keep a good distance away. So maybe they're like 60 feet away from you, give or take. Okay. One of them is indeed a Knoll. The one who walks in front is a hyena-featured individual, pretty scraggy looking. Definitely does not look like someone who has refined culture or that lives in a nice city. The Knoll has some bone adornments through on his person. He looks a little older. He's graying a little bit in some areas. Also has like one snaggletooth coming up from the bottom jaw. Walking alongside the Knoll is a woman who looks like she has some cactus-like thorns coming out of her skin. She's kind of has some plant traits going on. A dryad, like a cactus dryad. And she is a sort of lithe thing. She has a real serious look about her face. She's sizing you all up. And the dog has a rather kind of a pernicious and dire look to it. It's a big thing. I mean, it's medium sized, so it's a good sized hound. And it has 2 heads.
Oh.
The Knoll seems to be the leader of this rabble.
Ah, there. You come this way through Kikon land.
Well, we came this way a few days ago, and we're going back.
You see them bones what I left back away.
I just kind of go like
Yeah,
that
G.
to mimic a crucified Knoll holding 2 weird egg magic things.
Use ones take 'em eggs from its bones.
I point at Noxiqual.
1 egg.
You have 2 hand still?
I hold my hands up.
Ah, then quick one you is. I kick on.
Noxiqual. Captain Noxiqual.
It does all kinds of strange, kind of like glaring, tongue out sticking eyes, bulging, some sort of display of strength.
Noxiqual just smiles and kind of scratches near his eye patch. Yeah.
Kobe gives a little growl.
It is impressive magic that you left with the effigy.
I, mystic of the Badlands. Use ones go and Horncombe Lodge.
We have traveled through Horncombe Lodge, and we are headed back there now. They are
The people,
dishonorable.
yes, no honor. They show no honor to Kikon, no respect to Kikon. You respect, do you not?
Yes.
Well, we have not been shown any particular more respect, although the Lord does want his daughters to. He points at them and makes a not suggestive but weird ring motion.
Uh-huh.
What you say? You going to wedding with daughters of Lord?
Of a sort, but
I've heard that they are getting married, yes. This is where we head. But we have 2 purposes in heading to the lodge. One of those purposes will show those dishonorable that live there a lesson. I cannot say more than that, since I do not know you well enough yet.
I now am protector of these lands. The lodge people there, they have shit in head. And the cactus forest have other guardian. I don't go to her place, she don't go my place. This my place. I am Lord here. Horncombe need pay respect to me. I want this.
Kivish goes like this, and then as to say, "Oh, is that the other guardian you're talking about?"
Other guardian is strange spider one.
Ooh. Okay, so not somebody we've
The
met.
spider who calls lightning, the storm bringer.
Interesting.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
not
Now I
met.
know who I want to meet.
Horncomb Lodge, if they do not pay respect to you, it sounds like you have a problem with them.
Yes. They hunt in my land and give me none of this meat. And so I request they meat. You can bring this sacrifice to me. I will give you my favor.
What
Do we
favor?
think he means their meat, like their food store, or like their flesh?
They flesh. Oh, kick on visit plague on they village.
Well, we do have a random criminal who's due to be executed, who we're not really bothering to try and stop from being executed.
I mean, you'd have to marry the other daughter.
Or we could just
Yeah.
say, hey, we'll dispose of a body for you.
So the what you were referring to the man, not the boy.
Yes.
Yes.
The man and the elven woman's trials have yet to, where the judgment have yet to even been take place. So you're really not even sure what their punishment's supposed to be. The boy, however, was supposed to be executed.
Okay. Well, the boy was a petty thief and the man was a wife beater, so I would assume if the boy was going to be executed, how could he not
The
be?
boy is a caver, though, and the man is part of the Lord's estate.
Oh, I see.
So,
And the boy was stealing food from a
I see.
arid
One of
land
those
village
capers.
where food is a precious commodity.
Right.
There
It
was
may
something
not
odd
be-
about that man too. I forget.
He had
Something
that
was odd. Something was Noxiqual had determined that he had been affected somehow supernaturally. The boy as well. They both had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
had that not all is what it seems quality about them.
There's a lot going on there that we need to dig into.
Yeah.
So kick on One Tooth. He says that the people of Horncone Lodge have been
Hunting.
disrespecting him for some time, and he wants you all to bring a word to Horncombe Lodge of the fearsome mystic of the wastes who will call upon plagues of doom onto their village if they don't send him 2 living sacrifices. Send him two people. He says,
I thought
My-
really.
My doggies. Shag shug. Feast on they flesh. I too will try peace. You want peace?
he looks at the cactus woman and she says,
I don't eat this.
Yes, we shall bring peace to this land. Good. Give me a drumstick.
Now, I assume if we do this, we gain your favor. If we don't do this, is there any hard feelings between us?
he stares you right into the eye and he says,
I am Alpha of this land. This you know?
You have said yes.
You show me tribute, you show me respect. You will pass without harm.
Mm.
What is your power? What do you have?
You wish to witness my power.
You are swordman.
I do possess a blade, yes.
And you, dwarf one, you also are swordman.
I am like your friend the spider.
You are spider.
I'm gonna do some druid craft, by which I mean use the druid craft cantrip to just like make a little couple of sparks in my fingers.
Okay, he's kind of interested in that, and then he points like a clawed finger towards Lykarr.
You are not swordman. You are magic man.
I am Magic Man.
I am magic man.
He He makes some like clicking sounds and he rattles his bones, howls a bit, and wind starts swirling a little bit around him.
I want secret of yours, powers. I have one for you. We talk. We exchange secret.
Is he addressing all of us or specifically one of us?
All of you.
Okay.
He seems to be interested in talking about arcane secrets, and he seems to want to exchange ideas and techniques.
I don't see why not.
I would be willing
Learn
to
a
do this
spell.
exchange for passing through as respectfully the lord of these lands.
Mm-hmm. Nox, do you let on to your warlock abilities?
I was gonna see if he could notice first, but I did have some plans. I was going to do something magical in just a moment. Let's see. Yeah, I'll approach him and say, if it is arcane knowledge that you seek, you may be surprised that I too am a holder of such secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And I will
From where you get power?
From the shadows. And I motion with one hand, and darkness just like rises up, and like my shadow just forms into like this bubble of darkness.
Mm-hmm. So, you demonstrate this, and you let on that you are a warlock. He actually seems most interested in this. And so he says that he can call up poisonous gases from the very air. And he also has been bestowed, this power has also been bestowed upon him by a master of sorts.
And what master does he serve?
I serve the great Yenagu.
Aha.
This name sounds familiar to me.
Anybody who would like can roll a knowledge check.
Yeah, definitely.
Religion?
Religion? Religion seems right to me.
Yep. Let's see, 13 plus 15.
I got a 17.
I got a 6.
Get the bad rolls out now.
Okay. 17. You've heard of Yenagu. If you're not mistaken, that is one of the demon lords of the abyss. Yes, it is indeed.
Especially tied to Knolls.
Yes, Knolls are known to worship this one.
Out of character knowledge, yes, that's exactly who that is. So, your master, have you met them before you? Have you seen them?
I know. Go to Yenagu myself. But he come through the fire, through the dance, and Skanyak.
I understand.
For a translation for that word?
Let's see. What languages does everyone speak?
Skanyak. Your language translates to
and common.
Skanyak. You know, it's just Skanyak, you know?
Common, Elvish, Draconic, Primordial, and Giant.
Nice.
Common, Druidic, and Sylvan.
Those that speak Primordial make an intelligence check.
Good old Primordial.
Good old Primordial.
Ooh, that's actually really
6.
good. I got a 19.
He said something like magic dancing, magic praying.
I understand.
Yeah.
He does a dance which allows him to commune with his.
Yeah,
patron.
apparently he has some kind of rite that he communes with Yinogu, but he says he's never personally gone before this demon lord.
I understand patrons do not directly interact with their servants, but we are spoken to by them at times.
I have met Morpheus, I just wanted to say.
This not land of Kikon. My land end in Morpheus land. But
Sons of Morpheus.
one day comes. Kikon is alpha of all Drakangrim. Then Morpheus no more. Then I meet Yinagu. Face to his face.
Very
A day
humble,
would
very
be-
attainable goals, this guy. Real down to earth.
A day like that, you would be called what some consider a god.
Or a Mer Queen.
Yeah, you say that, and he's like,
Oh.
Yeah, you should watch your tongue.
I see those in these parts are still wise.
the cactus dryad says,
It is not good to speak her name. One time I saw a pilgrim going towards Ambrosia Temple, invoking the name of her. And the ground opens and a hand pull her underneath.
So out of character, I would choose the dialogue box that says, look into mirror, Mer Queen, Mer Queen, Mer Queen. In character, I think I'll just say, yes,
in a game that has like a reload or a save state, maybe you would do that. So.
save, yeah.
Well, I hope you have your backup character. So,
Okay, so what do you guys think about this guy? He seems a bit threatening, but you're being respectful, and he likes that. He mainly is asking that you go and like spread the word of his might to Horncombe and tell them that they need to come out here to the pits and sacrifice 2 people. He's also interested in exchanging some arcane secrets with Noxiqual.
Right.
yeah.
So
I'm
he's
down.
no friend to them, and I mean, we kind of have been so far, but realistically, we aren't any friend of them either. And if he's not going to attack us, we're certainly not going to attack him. And he might be able to teach one or more of us some useful, potentially, spells. So,
Well,
yeah.
let's
Okay.
find out.
All right, so you all reach a sort of mutual, if a little bit tense, truce with Kick-On. No, he does not outright attack, but him and the Thorny One continually are like sizing you all up. Yeah, I mean, he seems to think that you all look pretty powerful.
He's an alpha of this territory. He just wants to make sure we respect him.
Yeah,
I get
that's yeah. He definitely gives this like, I'm the old mystic of the wastes, fear me. That's like pervasive theme that he has going on.
I respect him.
All right, so Nox, you're interested in exchanging kind of like your personal experience and knowledge with him.
I will share with him some secrets of the shadows.
Okay. Select a spell that you would like to talk to him about, and then he has this calling up poisons that he was talking about. That was his spell.
Okay. Let's see. A spell. How much like do I think he can comprehend? Can he comprehend my level of spells?
He
Like third level?
describes a bit the spell of his, and he starts off by saying like, the demons emit their foul stinks and poison gases from their arses. And so you're pretty sure he's describing Stinking Cloud, which is a 3rd level spell.
Okay. Then I will speak to him about. Let's go with. I like Major Image. That's one of my kind of staple go-tos.
Okay. He seems pretty interested in that shadow weaving you were doing, so that's a good selection.
Yeah.
So he talks about his process of conjuring up demon farts by the might of Yinogu, and these can create this cloud that can poison your enemies and obscure vision as well.
Sounds useful.
The way he talks about these things, he has a little bit of obviously a different cadence and perspective through his language, but he seems pretty obsessed with this whole magic stuff. You make an insight check.
Sure. That's probably very bad for me to make, but I will do my best. Oh wow, I rolled well. 16.
Good enough. You get the sense that this one has not been a warlock for very long.
Mhm.
You think it's pretty recent that he was, what do you call it? That he made his pact.
But it's
He
a
has
strong pact. Yeah.
Yeah. With that insight check, you think that he himself is a pretty powerful individual. He referred to himself as like an alpha Knoll. And he's an older one and has survived the harsh life for this long. So he seems pretty tough. But in terms of Warlock Pact, that seems like probably the newest chapter in his life.
Well, if you made a pact directly with a demon lord, you gotta be pretty important to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, or found something important.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. He's got obviously some story of note there. Make an Arcana check regarding what he is describing to you.
Sure. That I can do a little bit better. Assuming the dice don't make a clown out of me. Only a 13 there.
Okay. You are having a very difficult time exactly following how it is that he conjures the stinking cloud. And then you're talking to him about Major Image, and he's going to make a roll as well.
I'll actually demonstrate it for him because, using a patron spell, we can make these come back after a short period of time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So he watches it. He does not fully grasp it either, so we'll just leave it at that. You two have traded some secrets with each other. You've maybe gotten a bit of understanding of how these things work, but you are not you're not near enough to the point of actually learning how to do this spell yourself, which sometimes these things take a while anyways. We speak more in next time you are here.
It is possible we might come back this way. Let us speak more when the future and when that time comes.
He asks you all to give your word, to swear to him that you are going to bring his message to Horncombe Lodge, that they need to offer him 2 sacrifices for the offenses.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to give him our word on that. Oh.
Yeah, he asks you all to swear an oath to him.
I see no problem with swearing that oath and following through on it.
Is that sufficient? Or does he require all of us to swear this oath?
Well, you tell me, what do you all want to do?
They just swore the oath. I was just like, is that sufficient?
Okay, so Kivish and Lykarr, you both say, by my word, I will do it. Okay.
Yeah, just relay a message, sure.
All right. He
By
seems
the lips of the Black Tarn, I swear this to you.
I am pleased. Kickon does not fear Horncombe.
He does this, and he actually he scratches himself and draws blood off of his cheeks, and he's just like, he does weird Knoll hyena things at that. Farewell, unless anyone else wants to talk with this guy anymore.
Out of curiosity, the Dryad, could I just get a quick moment? Is it safe to travel through the cactus lands? Is there something that if should we need to, is there a way to do this properly, respectfully
Mm-hmm.
to the Guardian?
She says, I left Cactus Forest. It was not easy. And I do long for my birth home. But Coraxia is very cruel, very callous. I prefer to join this one here in our new home. Coraxia is not known to be a friend of anyone.
I'm typing that up. Coraxia. And Coraxia is the guardian of the cactus.
Yes, she is a strange kin of spider, but not fully spider. But she has many arms, and hers are the powers of storm.
The storm spider. That's who you spoke of before. I've made note of this. It sounds like we would not have much luck parlaying with her.
A show of strength. And she looks at Lykarr and she says, particularly your type of strength may impress her, and she will let you pass. But if you face her, you must use your utmost, your boldest, your strongest. Summon the greatest power you have, and do not hesitate.
Should we traverse the cactus forest, I think that would be very helpful.
She offers you one last thing. She comes in close and she tells you a little bit about the sinkhole area. She tells you a place to enter and exit from that's a little bit safer.
That's super helpful. I thank her. Can I share with her anything that she needs?
She says, if you can get 2 sacrifices from Horncomb, I would be most amused at that.
I won't say that we can, but it would be quite amusing.
I hope so.
I just gotta look at Lykarr like, how long did you want to be married for?
I was thinking that too. Kind of mean, but
we're horrible people. But
they also might be, evil.
Hey, darling, I got a honeymoon booked. We're going to Sinkhole Paradise.
This place is great. I love it. There's a Knoll there. He wants to eat you. Yes. Wait,
oh, look at this view. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I can see my house from here.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So you all bid farewell to the other group. I'll award you all half a milestone for that exchange. That way we can do some leveling up at the next long rest. How many away are you?
Me? Let's see. I'm checking right now. I am at 7 milestones.
Okay, so you're 3 away. All right, that's about what I was thinking. So you continue onwards. You go past the withered, crucified Knoll corpse. You pass through the sinkholes using the path that Thornessa told you about. It serves fairly well. There's one bit that's a little sketchy, but you pass through okay. It's a relatively safe course as long as you go single file. You arrive at the other side, and there's still a good probably 2 more days of probably tonight, and then like another day and a half, 2 days of traveling. Would y'all like to make camp?
Yes, and be on the lookout for saber-tooths.
Yes. This is the area for
staggered watch schedule.
Yeah.
But yes, long rest sounds good so that you guys can get your level up on.
Okay. So I'm going to
make a roll of stuff.
Stuff happens.
1d10 saber tooths appear.
He rolled 2 dice. It would be 2d10.
Oh no, it's only 2d8 saber tooths. Come on.
All right, that's considerate.
All right. No, there are no visitations in the night, though. Kivish dreams of the swamp Dryad, who he has not seen in some time, and she, greets him with a kiss to each cheek and maybe a nice, dwarven, fond headbutt, and whispers in his ear of dream powers and of the path he is reaching new heights or maybe new murky depths. And Lykarr dreams of yes, and Lykarr dreams of a great thunderhead with a face looking from it, and when his enemies approach, it like spews down lightning bolts in great fury. You both feel that you have reached a new pinnacle of understanding, a realization, an epiphany. That thing you couldn't quite put your finger on these past few weeks now is clear. Don't forget to roll your hit dice.
Indeed.
Oh, I need all the hit points I can get.
So, per the house rule, you roll your dice, and then you choose what the dice says, or half of a hit die. So,
well, I rolled a 2, so I'm going to go with the average
so
value,
you
which is
can choose the 4. Then Lykarr at Sorcerer's D6, so whatever you roll, or a 3 plus con.
Yes, I will go with a 4 instead of a 2.
Well, I rolled a 1, so...
Okay.
Both are taking half.
So I have 16 Constitution.
Half rounded down, but yeah.
So 6.
So I go from 41 to 47.
I hope that you both have looked to see what your class features are at this level.
Yeah, I get an extra 3rd level spell, and the second Circle of Dreams class feature, Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow, which
So
I've
you guys
already
didn't
gone ahead and
pre-build?
decked out my sheet to mark.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't pre-build.
I mean, I thought that you knew you guys were half a milestone away. I thought that you were going to.
I mean, I just assume. I mean, if you were like totally on the ball and said, all right. So it looks like Druid and Sorcerer both have another 3rd level spell slot, which is nice. And I believe Lykarr will learn a spell, and you also have a Sorcerer feature.
I have not looked at it.
All right. I got your backup. I've got the Xanathar's Guide up here. We have Ranger. We have Sorcerer. Okay. Storm Sorcery.
I get Heart of Storms and Storm Guide.
Mm-hmm.
I gain resistance to lightning and thunder damage.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you start casting a spell first level or higher that deals lightning or thunder damage, stormy magic erupts from you. This eruption causes creatures of your choice that you can see within 10 feet to take lightning or thunder damage equal to half of your sorcerer level.
Nice.
And I get to gain the ability to subtly control the weather around me. I can make it stop raining in a 20-foot radius. Well, that's pretty cool. I can control the wind a little bit for sailing. That could be handy.
Very nice. Very, very cool stuff. So you resist thunder and lightning whenever you cast a lightning or thunder spell of 1st level or higher. Creatures of your choice within 10 feet of you will take 3 lightning or thunder damage. That alone is really good. And then Storm Guy, yes, subtly control the weather around you. 20-foot radius of rain, 100-foot radius of wind. Plus, I believe you'll learn a spell and have an additional 3rd level spell slot.
Cool.
Do you know what spell you're going to pick?
I think I wanted flight. Is that third level?
Fly. Yep.
Why? Yep.
Yeah, I think I wanted fly. I think that could come
Fly
in.
is a good one. Can't go wrong with that.
All right. So, I wrote that down. Two, three. Fly.
Cool.
Got it.
And Kivish, you prepare spells, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I've marked that the one I'm going to prepare is going to be spell magic, in addition to my usual two I usually prepare, which are Eruption Earth and Wall of Wind.
Nice. Yeah, you prepare a number of spells equal to Druid level plus Wisdom, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I think it's how the Wizard and the Cleric are. Very well. All right, so we shall continue onwards. Let's just do a little screen share to check back in on the map here. Okay, here we are. Okay, so you all are traveling probably around about this area today. Kivish had previously spotted a rock nest, so unless you're feeling particularly saucy, you might tell your party to skirt around this away. What do you guys think? Do you want to try fighting the rock?
I would advocate for passing it by once more.
Okay. Well, Lykarr just got fly.
Yeah, I'm good with Allie and Dwayne Johnson.
Pretty sure the rock was born with fly. They might be a little bit better at it.
You traverse the dry and arid lands throughout the day. You are beginning to feel parched. Water sounds like a very good thing to have right about now.
I drank some water.
I do the same.
Yeah.
We do have rations, but it might.
When was the last time that you all were at a place that had rations available?
Horncomb Lodge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine you're probably out of water by this point.
Okay. That's so. Then
You probably drink a good gallon of water a day in a place like this.
Right.
would you like some sort of check?
Yeah, why don't we do a little survival bit here, a little foraging. Let's do just a small scene. Kivish, are you of the survival persuasion?
I am, yeah. I have it as a proficient skill, and it's wisdom, which I'm good at.
Very good. Okay, so let's say you all make it's like you're still at your camp. Kivish is going to do some foraging. Nox, would you like to take this opportunity to study the parchments?
Yeah, that sounds great, actually.
And then Lykarr, what would you like to do during this scene?
Lykarr is going to assist with finding water.
Okay. So first, I would like Lykarr to roll a survival check, unless you have some other skill that could reasonably assist him.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
14.
Okay. Kivish, roll survival with advantage.
Oh, okay. Of course, they both got stuck. Let's try putting them in the different chambers. Now they roll. Well, one does. And now the other one does. Cool. Okay, I see a 17 and 12, so with advantage, that's 17 plus 6 is 23.
23 is very good. It is difficult to find water and food out here. It is nearly opposite of where you're from. You're used to a wet lowland, and this is rocky, arid, and there's some mountains flanking you. It is not easy for you to find this, and it probably takes you a little longer than it usually does, but you are able to locate say it's like a big rocky formation, and there is a little underhang area where there's water pooling up. And you can kind of dig in a little bit. So there's a sort of natural spring, and you collect water there, and then you're able to find plenty of things to eat. You find some edible tuber plants and some eggs and scorpions to roast up. There's probably also some other small game that you're able to catch out here. Thinking what might be out there. Maybe some like hares and some kind of like small gazelle type game.
Oh, wow. That's pretty impressive for an arid land without much grass, but all right. Definitely going to have nostalgic visions of drinking the fresh juice out of a water vine while on my way foraging for morels and catching fish in the spring waters.
It's noticeably easier to forage where you're from. But hey, you've heard of worse places than this. It's not just sheer sandy dunes. It's just more of a rocky badland area. Let's go back then to Noxiqual. You're there. Kobe's just kind of like, chatting and maybe distracting you a little bit. You can make an investigation check. That's something I can think of right off as you're pouring through these various parchments.
Makes sense. Yeah, I'll go ahead and try that. I've already tried investigating them before, so hopefully this will go better. It's only an 11, unfortunately.
Avast? No, not avast. Alas! Oh, such terrible penmanship. These scrawlings are very hard to make out.
It's just going to take me longer. I'll get through them eventually.
Yeah, you're having a hard time getting through them. Maybe like are dozing off. It's kind of boring. Not much of note. But you all are replenished on water and food at this point.
Good job, Kivish.
Yes, excellent job.
It was no problem for me.
We'll be at Horncombe Lodge in another day, so... Cool.
Then things are going to get interesting.
Yeah.
All right, you traverse throughout the day. Kivish has supplied you with ample water and food. You make camp the following night. It is a cool and breezy evening under a starry sky. And then into the next day, as you travel the last stretch back in here between this plateau that separates the north and south passages. Other than a few hawks and vultures circling overhead, there is nothing to be seen on this last day. Eventually you get closer to the village. You pass by some areas that have like some caves in the distance here in the plateau. You get a bit closer, you come across a mine, and there's some mine workers and people pulling, like leading some mules that are pulling carts with, rocks and other chunks of ore mined from the nearby mines here. And eventually you come to the village itself, which at the moment is in a livelier state than you last left it. This time, as you are approaching the entrance, you are greeted with a smile and a cheer from the guardsmen at the gates. Ah, you've returned! The grooms! Yes! Well, looking forward to a good wedding celebration, we are.
Thank you for such a hearty greeting. It's good to be back.
Yes, the wedding should be very exciting.
Has a date been set yet, or can we set one when we speak with the Lord?
Oh, we've all been hearing that the wedding's tomorrow night. He said you'd be back today. I think you're a bit late, actually.
Well, he knew that we were headed to the Ambrose Temple, so we could inference from that how long it would take us.
Hey, one of the guardsmen leans in. I heard that you all are magic workers. Come on, show me a little something.
I reach behind his ear and I pull out a coin.
Like a child's trick.
Yes, and I'm prepared to make a sleight of hand check to actually pull that off if need be. Because it is, the straight up sleight of hand. Like,
All right. Make your sleight of hand check.
okay, I'm decent at this, but then again, I also rolled a 1, so I doubt that succeeds, even if it is like a 7.
He looks at you rather nonplussed. When I left home this morning, I told Junior, Daddy's gonna see some magic today, and I'm gonna tell you all about it. But if I go home and tell him that you just tried pulling a coin out behind my ear, he's gonna be crying and fussing all night. Come on, show me something.
Have you seen a man remove his own thumb?
He's doing his dumb little tricks. Shadows start to form behind the man. He can't see this. Like, I'm facing him, the man's back, and shadows like form up into a complete duplicate of the man.
I'm gonna try and see if I can actually help this, because I assume I noticed this by
everyone that's
using
looking that way.
Druidcraft to make some natural sparks and blow them at his face to get him to turn around, startle him a little bit to turn him around so he can be shocked and awed by the illusion.
Well, there's a paler version of him, like a shadow version. Imagine everything's kind of shadowy about it. I want it to look like an illusion, not like a real person.
Sure.
If you will.
So the guardsman looks at your shadowy, illusory double of himself. His eyes grow wide, and then he just breaks out into a laughter, just hysterical laughter. He falls onto the ground. The other two guardsmen are like, this is kind of some weird witchy stuff here. But this guy just thought it was hilarious, and he's just rolling on the ground laughing.
His duplicate.
Should do our boss. Make sure you give him a shorter prick.
Yeah, the shadow just fades away. Although
that's an odd reaction, though.
People react differently when they're confronted with certain things.
Mm-hmm.
I know someone that when they're scared,
it could be unpredictable. Yeah, it could be unpredictable. At first, he seemed like he was gonna freak out, and then he just started laughing. So
I know someone like that.
Yeah, maybe it was like a coping mechanism.
Yeah, someone actually laughs when they're terrified. Yeah. So, anyways.
So, about this wedding.
Yeah.
Sounds like you all want to go to the Great Lodge and get your accommodations squared away and kind of check in and get ready for the ceremony tomorrow.
We have a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
So this is perfect. And I like that the wedding's at night. I actually kind of thought of that and then forgot about it, but that makes it a perfect kind of sneak away in the night.
Mm-hmm. The ceremony is going to take place in the afternoon, and then the festivities will last all night long. There's we're gonna celebrate until the next day breaks,
which is perfect because then people will be drunk and tired the next morning, and hopefully we'll be gone by then.
Sounds like you've got a plan a brewing.
Well, we have tonight, so we have to use this to recon, and that's when the plan will take shape. So let's go to.
So let's see. You all are greeted at the Great Lodge. Jasmine is to wed Kivish, right?
I believe
Jasmine, the older brunette.
Yes, I was blonde.
And Aubrey, the youngest, the blonde, is to wed Lykarr.
So the middle one is, of course, left out.
Okay, so the middle one is actually the only one who's down here in the Great Lodge, and she says that her sisters are, they're too much in flutters and making preparations, and even herself, she herself, Freyanna, the middle child, the redhead, is.
Freyanna, that was her name. I was going to call her Florishana, but I know that's not right.
Oh, that's from Chrysalis of Rivers.
It is, yes.
Yeah, Freyanna, she is actually running all over the place. She's helping with her normal duties of guests and honored visitors, as well as some preparations for the wedding. So she's just like running back and forth, and she like barely has time to like greet you. And she's like, "Hey, I'm glad you're here. All right, wait. You had another person in your party. Where is he?"
Unfortunately, he will not be returning with us. He met his fate in the arid lands to the south of here.
He died in the Badlands.
Traveling the Badlands is not safe.
Oh, what happened?
There was an attack in the night by a great beast with fangs.
One of the saber cats got him.
Mm,
Ah, shit. I'm very sorry for your loss.
thank you. Point of order.
I can
Comfort you if you need. She is like getting up to Nox here, who is not getting married, and she's not getting married either.
Wait, I'm getting married. You're talking about Kivish.
Oh, Kivish is the one not getting. That's right. The dwarf isn't getting married. Okay, so she aims at it at our good man Kivish there.
Point of order. Is this
She
like?
goes to like caress your hair, and then she like touches some of the fungal things, and it's like, Kobe, oh poor Kobe. She's like
pull
caresses his mane shaggy hair.
I pull a truffle out of some hidden pocket. Would you like one?
Oh, I just had lunch. Thank you.
I have to ask the question though. Is this like old version or young version?
Old.
Okay, that's what I thought, but you didn't
Mhm.
specify.
Okay. Yeah, she too. She looks like she maybe like just turned 60.
Okay.
That's not old.
Yeah, she's like
Yeah.
her auburn hair is getting some gray streaks in it.
Okay.
Aubrey supposedly is like late 50s, and then Jasmine's supposedly like 64.
Yeah. Well, where is Aubrey? Where is the brides to be?
Oh, you can't see your bride to be until the wedding ceremony. I know that you're getting rather anxious, but don't spoil it. Come on.
Of course, of course. What about Lord Kyle? Is he around?
Ah, yes, he is well. Everyone is well. Do you need to speak with him?
I would love to speak with him if there is an opportunity to do so.
Okay. We will send you. We'll send a boy your way when he is ready.
Thank you.
So they're going to send a little messenger to you when Lord Eck is able to see you.
Do we have the same accommodations as last time, or do we have a different room?
So there are actually 3 rooms. They're all here on the ground floor. The first is the room that you'd stayed in before. That would be for Kivish and Kobe. And then there are 2 other rooms which are on the other side, still on the ground floor, but on the other side. They're smaller private chambers, private quarters, one for Lykarr and one for Noxiqual.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we can make this work still.
Yeah, you need your privacy for after you have tied the knot.
Indeed. Can't let the bride see us before the wedding either.
Oh, you're a charming one, Nox. Oh, Noxy.
Yes, we will be family after this, I suppose. I'll be
Yes,
sure
yes.
to come
If you need
visit.
something to eat, it's there on the table. We've already got it. Lunch is already prepared. Get it before it gets cold.
Perfect. I'll enjoy something. The honey that your father was going to provide, he was going to provide us a barrel of honey each, I believe. Is that
Finest honey in Dreckengrim, made
where
right
is
here at
that?
Horncombe Lodge.
I was about to say, where is that made?
Yeah, Horncombe Lodge is like the place for honey in Dreckengrim.
So, a
I'm
good
asking.
question though: have we ever seen a bee while we're here?
Yes, that's my other question.
Yeah, sure. The village is not that large, so I'm sure at some point you pass by the apiary.
Okay.
It's not like there's a curious, conspicuous lack of any bees anywhere in public.
No,
All right.
no, it's not like that.
So I don't.
There's
think
even little like flowers growing here and there, like little patchy wildflower things, and you'll even see just bees buzzing around here and there.
Because that totally, was not something I really thought about before, and could have been a huge detail we just missed, and is a gigantic clue to
Well,
glaring.
that's why I asked, because you
Mhm.
didn't mention anything until now
Right.
about bees. So I was like,
Mhm.
I wonder if there's something else going on here.
Okay, yeah. Horncomb Lodge is known for its
Honey.
magnificent honey.
Well, that's good. So this is a normal thing. Their honey is probably just really good. So probably nothing to do with the stolen water. That's good. Yeah, I'm just
So
gonna
she starts to
wait for the
she
meeting.
starts to kind of hurry up. Oh, was there anything else? Do you need anything else?
No.
Okay,
I'm
well, if you need
good.
anything, just shout for me, and I'll be around. I'm very busy, but I'm so happy. Okay,
Thank
and she
you
takes
so
her
much.
leave.
Yep. So, yeah, let's wait for a meeting with Lord Kyle, because I feel like that's where we're going to get the most answers, appropriate person to speak with about
Okay.
them. Yeah.
So it's a good couple hours later, and you meet Lord Kyleck in that same meeting chamber on the ground floor. There are a couple others with him. Let's see who's with him there. He's got his trusty guardsmen, Ludwig and Grasshopper, and good old Marley. No, I'm sorry, not Marley. Yoakum. Is it Yoakum? Maxwell. Oh my gosh,
the nephew of
Maxwell. So I'm like going through like the different guys we've encountered here.
Marley was
There was
the violence against his wife.
Marley is the the one who stands accused of abusing his
Owen is
wife.
the carver boy, caver boy, and Valna is the
caver boy whose name is
Bowen.
Bowen. That's it. I was gonna say Brandon. Yeah.
I
wrote
got
it down.
Bowen,
I'm looking at my notes.
Good. That's good that somebody did that.
Yeah,
A lot of
Bowen.
names to remember.
I have an idea of publishing, like putting up one of those Wix or some kind of free website, and it'll have like all the NPCs on it.
Oh yeah, like I don't have a whole lot of experience with making them on things other than Obsidian Portal, but yeah, I've made plenty of those before. Those are always useful.
Nice. I'm trying to keep track of various NPCs. Yeah, Bowen Drigsby is the boy. All right, so we got the Lord, we got the two guardsmen, and Maxwell, who's his grandnephew, the cocky guy. Yeah, why not? This is kind of his typical
retinue.
Retinue. I was trying to say that word. All right, his typical retinue. All right, so he's there. He kind of like ushers you in. Come. You took long enough to get here, right before the day of your wedding, but well, I trust your trek to that old ruin was nothing but a bore.
Actually, it was very rewarding. We found the water that we sought, and it was able to help.
Oh, did you now? And what did you do with this water?
Oh, just bathed in it in the pool where it was.
That must have been lovely.
Yes.
You went all that way just for a bath, did you?
Oh, it had miraculous healing properties. This water is amazing. Everyone should try it at least once, I feel.
Can I attempt
Should have
to,
brought me back some. You didn't, did you?
I didn't think to, but perhaps that's something that
Not
we could
thinking of
discuss.
your grandpappy to be.
Oh, if that's something that you'd be interested in, I'm sure.
would
we
I
could
be able
arrange something.
to attempt to use some insight here to gain some
Good
insight
idea.
into whether or not he's actually lying because he already knows he took all the water?
Go ahead.
All right.
I have a really good idea after that.
Well, that is shitty. I rolled a 2. And that's +3, but still it's a 5. So, I take it I don't know even if he were just giving us the runaround.
Seems to be shooting you straight.
I'll do an insight because why not? So what's the worst that I can do? Nope, just a 4.
My turn.
All right, go
I'm
for it,
pretty
Lykarr.
convinced he knows what's going on. I just wanted to see if I could see through him.
19.
Nice.
Lykarr, you noticed a slight balk, a slight hesitation as Warsor, Noxiqual was talking about, oh, we discovered the water and bathed in it, and we were miraculously cured of unspecified ailments. And there was a little moment where the Lord was like, what the hell? Kind of a what? But he didn't really express much. It was pretty subtle.
Yeah. Good. My idea. You know, a really clever person might be able to profit or perhaps even benefit greatly if they were to take the water from that temple. I had not even thought of that. Perhaps that's something. Would that be something that you'd be interested in, Lord Eck?
Make a deception check.
Hell yes. Do you know deception is my highest skill?
I do know.
27.
Wow.
I have a +8.
Nice.
The clutch
Oh,
roll.
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
He his eyes kind of like widen a little bit, and he perks up. He actually kind of like comes forward a little bit. This old bony, like 90-something-year-old guy. I would like that very much. Could you do that for your grandpappy who is treating you so well? You would have my eternal gratitude.
We'd need some barrels, a wagon, and I'd say about 2 people. Perhaps your nephew Maxwell or someone else that could come with us to help us. But I don't see why not.
Yes. Yes. Once you're wed and everything is settled, I will arrange a cart to go to the temple and bring back this miraculous water. I'm old and sickly. The idea of a new
You feel like a young man again.
vigor running through these old bones, I would like nothing more than that.
Mm.
Maxwell says, I'm not going to go tromping around in the Badlands. You can get Yoakum to do it, and I don't know, get one of the militiamen. I got other stuff to do.
Clearly he loves his grandpappy.
Figure that. We'll make the arrangements soon enough.
Oh, so it
I am
seems-
very happy. You've pleased me greatly, Nox. He puts his hand on, like, kind of shaking, half
I'll
grabs,
let him.
half pats you on the shoulder.
I let him do so. It's my pleasure. Grandfather, I suppose.
So, are you ready to marry your lovely flowers? Not the youngest flowers in the meadow.
I'm ready this very moment, but I understand there's patience. We
And
must wait.
formalities.
Yes. Yes, I'm looking forward to it greatly. There's so many things that will happen after tomorrow that will be it'll be a wonderful experience, new life experience.
Yes, I'm finding happiness in this old heart once again. Thank you. You have my sincerest gratitudes. So we'll have the ceremony tomorrow, just after midday, and the festivities will not cease until we fall asleep from exhaustion. Or
Excellent.
pass out drunk.
Two small matters. Let's clear this right now so that we don't have to worry about it during the festivities. I would like to take your daughters with us back to my home city. Would a cart and a horse be permitted so that we might take them in comfort?
Of course, I will be sending my daughters in comfort. I will arrange a carriage with horses and guardsmen.
And with the barrels of honey and other dowry,
Oh, yes, the silver and honey that I promised you.
Of course.
Just remember to get the horse first. You don't want to put the cart before the horse.
Yes, and
You
you don't
said-
want to put the goat behind the farmer.
Excellent. And you said even an escort. How many men would you provide?
Oh, well, probably have a wagon driver and 4 guardsmen.
Perfect. That
Seems
is
fit, as you all are known to be powerful and
we can take care of your daughter.
knowledgeable in the ways of magic. You were trained at the Silver Citadel, is that true?
I was not, but I'm sure that's possibly the case for my companions. But yes, we are powerful. There will be no harm befalling your daughters, especially
Yes, I
our
will
new
not
wives.
have that. Lord Kyle looks at Lykarr and he says, I heard you were trained at the Silver Citadel. Is that not the case?
I have ancestors who I learned my craft from. They were trained at the Citadel long ago.
What, you were not good at your studies?
My studies were not at the Citadel, as the Citadel is not a good place for me.
Why not? You're not a learned wizard.
I am learned, but much of it has come down through heredity, and it's in my blood.
Mm,
Wow. Can you find something in your blood to somehow make an old woman bear children and give me a magic wielding great grandson? great grandson.
I have a question.
Wait a minute.
We'll
I guess
work
it would
on
be
that as well.
grandson. That's so weird. Like, if that was somehow magically possible, he would have grandchildren younger than his great grandchildren.
We're
Or
not
then his
grandchildren.
great, then his
Yeah, it would be
great.
his son. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Yeah.
this is getting complex.
Yeah.
Anyhow, because Maxwell's like the generation.
He's a nephew. He's
Yeah.
off from the side family.
It's like the uncle would be
Right.
20 some years
Mhm.
younger than the.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sure Maxwell would be thrilled that the line of inheritance would suddenly be passing him up.
Right. Yeah, no, really, he's the only one that stands to be damaged by this.
We'll deal with his betrayal later, I'm sure.
Yes. I noted that Lord Kyle's younger brother's name was Blake, and that is
I didn't know.
Maxwell's.
Father.
Hold on. Okay, Maxwell, grandnephew of Kyle, son of Brondon, son of Blake. Okay, there's a lot of like unnamed, nameless, faceless NPCs mumbling around out there somewhere. So
Damn.
no worries.
I'm impressed that you came up with like all this stuff and we haven't even like encountered him yet. But
he is attending to other things elsewhere.
The second matter that I wish to discuss was the prisoners, as per our arrangement.
I have not chopped all their heads off yet.
I'm glad to hear that. And as per our arrangement, after the wedding, I would like them to be freed into our custody. I will have my men, Kobe and such, take care of the boy and whatnot, so that they will be ready to travel with us.
They will accompany you out to the temple.
They will accompany us on our way when we leave, yes. Unless you were thinking of us going back to the temple to get you water. I thought that we were going to take our wives to the city. And you were going to send a different expedition for the water.
Oh, please, could you bring me that water before you make your way back to your home city?
Absolutely. We can make that happen.
Nothing would make me happier. Nothing other than the wedding itself.
Very well. Then yes, if you could allow them to come with us after we've gone through the wedding, that would be most helpful in getting the water back.
Excellent. So
Noxiqual, you have aptly persuaded, not persuaded, but rather
I've
deceived
lied my ass
Lord
off.
Kyleck, and he seems very very enthused at this prospect of more of this water. And
does he actually say more of this water? Because that would be a nice
he
little
didn't.
slip.
Yeah.
That'd be a good Freudian
and he's
slip.
gonna give you like empty barrels and a cart with some mules and a cart driver, and he'll send like two,
Phase one.
able-bodied, strong militiamen with you.
Phase 1 has been a success.
Very well. I'll give a half milestone to Nox there.
Are
I
we going
appreciate
to
it.
deliver the message from Kikon?
You guys made an oath to do that, so that's up to you if you want to break your oath or not.
Do you bring it up now?
I mean, I'm stepping back. I'm saying thank you, father-in-law.
Okay, so you don't mention Kikon now, but maybe later on you will.
Now is not. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should
Not the opportune moment.
However, when we are completing this heist, a Kikon sends his regards would be
That would be. You should just write it in a letter and leave it where the water was. And just,
right.
but when he opens a letter, like have like a magic illusion pop out of Kikon doing his dance.
If we actually end up getting into kinetics here, and somebody ends up going south, whose body we can save as a sacrifice, we should totally cut off a hand for it to be clutching that note.
Okay, yeah, I mean, honestly, it depends on how evil you guys want to get. Like, my guy is fairly cool with sacrifices for power and whatnot, but he's not gonna just like go out of his way to be evil for the sake of evil. There's a goal here. There was,
Yeah.
All right, so it sounds like Nox is like a neutral character, but might
He is.
lean a little bit towards an evil thing.
Yeah, he definitely could fall towards neutral evil occasionally.
Okay.
Again, stealing the water in this case, it's not evil. Realistically, it's not evil. What's evil is the fact that it's been stolen here and kept here, and
We're doing a very chaotic good thing here of stealing the water.
Yes.
But
well, and you're doing the more chaotic thing of wanting to sell it. If Kivish had his way, it would either be, all or in part return to the temple, if I thought the temple could be fortified in such a way to protect it in the future, or taken somewhere safe.
So here's the fun little thing, though, that we could do. And I'm just going to pitch this here to you guys. Well, our characters can talk about it if we find a private place. But we do the heist. We're going to be heading south because Grandpappy, father, wants us to get the water for him. We could take the water back to the temple.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to do. He's like, here's your like big carriage, all these barrels to go get the water. He's just taking the water back
to the temple. And so here's what we accomplish by doing that. One, we take the water back to its rightful place. And that may have an impact on whether the water is viable or not. Because it was imbued by the god, and the fact that it's going back to his holy place may reinvigorate the water if it has lost its potency.
Right.
If nothing else, it is definitely a good deed in the eyes of the god Morpheus to restore his water to his temple.
True. Though it also does
come with
kind of make you wonder. Wait, somebody when we were there already poured out a water skin into the pool,
right?
We tried. Yes, we tried that. It doesn't work.
Adding your own water will get him to bless it and turn it into the special holy water. Okay.
He said to you guys, as I recall, this was something he did at the height of his power. He no longer has the ability to do it anymore with his current state. But the water is essentially an artifact. It exists now in the world, and he has like imbued it, and now it exists beyond his ability. He doesn't need to recharge it, as far as I know.
Yeah, you could think of it sort of like an artifact. Yeah. There was also that moment when Lykarr spoke with Cairo the priest, and he was saying like, who knows what this water is doing now that it's taken out of Morpheus's domain and out into the weird
Corrupted.
scape of Dreckengrim.
Yeah.
And who knows what the X might have done to it. It's just, there's a big question mark hanging over it at the moment.
Which is why I think by taking it back, we have the best chance of restoring it to its original purpose, which is what Lykarr needs it for.
True.
And I mean, worst case, we also get the favor of the Knoll. And what I think what we do on the way back is after we've killed the guards or whatever, done what we need to do to get rid of them, we play it off as though we all died on this trek, something terrible happened, and we go through the cactus forest and completely avoid the lodge.
Services of Pecan to make it look like the carriage was waylaid and the guards were totally not given to him as sacrifices, but were actually just taken by the Sabertooths. Also, I just realized it's still technically kind of evil, but the guards would make better sacrifices than the wives, probably.
Oh yeah, no, that's totally the case.
In character, I honestly wouldn't advocate for something like that. But
well, we wouldn't take the wives with us, most likely. We'd leave them at the place. Why would you take the wives? Yeah, like, it wouldn't make sense, because we're coming back to give him the water in his mind. So we'll just pick the wives up. So that's perfect. The wives don't have to die. Nothing terrible has to happen to them. We'll take 2 people with us, which is perfect. There won't be any witnesses. And we travel back through the cactus forest, dealing with the storm spider. I know there's risks, but I feel like we need that challenge. We have to risk it if we don't want to go back to the lodge and make them think that we never came back.
Right.
Or, alternatively, there's the caver boy, and he might know a way through the plateau.
True.
Are we going to get that Maxwell guy to come along with us? Because remember that one.
He's not going to come with us. He's a little he has much too important things to do with his time.
Well, that one guy, that Jeff, that alkaloid in the Temple of Morpheus, said, "Send his regards when we're killing him."
Oh, Maxwell?
Yeah, I wrote that down.
Oh, damn. So Maxwell must have been the one that took the water, most likely.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about Geoff. He's one of the acolytes that was with the priest in the Morpheus's realm, and they were talking about how the X have been like plundering and like siphoning off the pool of Morpheus for a long time, and Maxwell was apparently like one of the most rotten of them.
We can. So here's the thing. I'm very good at deception and some magic and stuff. I might be able to convince Maxwell to come with us, especially if I tell him about the treasure.
Or we can just get Ekta.
We're very good at deception. That's true.
Yeah. There's this cask of Amontillado in the catacombs. You gotta come see this.
It's great stuff. We'll drink it together. There's this cask of Morpheus water there in that room that I'm totally not going to immure you in after getting you drunk and knocking you over the head. Yeah.
I think Morpheus would get a little kick out of that if Maxwell got put in the Dream Realm land forever.
Lock him in that basement cell with all those bodies of cultists and let Morpheus take him and, like, put him in dream jail.
Divine punishment. There's some evil thoughts that we're getting to. Let's keep it rolling.
That's not evil if it's the dream police, we could trick.
Here's the thing. Evil is a subjective term. We are just people, and we all have our moral sliders. Like, some days I might be way more evil, other days I might be more good as this character. All depends on the situation.
Yep.
So let's move things forward then. We've got some interesting thoughts brewing here. We've got a plan and some strange things weaving, but there's still some unknown variables out there. So let's see how this plays out. Do we just want to go straight forward to the wedding ceremony?
We need to do the recon.
Oh, the recon at night. Okay, so let's go to nighttime then. Yes. So the day's activities go about, and the whole village is kind of preparing for this big ceremony. It's this huge, like, monumental event, really, and everyone's talking about it. Night comes. There's still some people preparing things at night, so the city doesn't, or the village rather, doesn't go 100% to sleep like it normally does. but it's nighttime. Most people are sleeping.
I'll make a big show. Like we're on the bottom level. And if there's some guards on the bottom level or whatever,
Yes.
I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, Kobe, can I see you in my chamber? You know, like over here for a bit." And we're all gonna kind of go to the private chambers to talk and discuss things or whatever. And Lykarr ideally will cast the invisibility spell on both of us,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll leave, and the other two will be in the chambers and pretending like we're all in there,
Mm-hmm.
just having a little private, like maybe we're having drinks or something. Like you can, Adam, I completely trust you to come up with whatever you need to.
Yeah.
If the case comes up.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
There are definitely guards. I mean, there's the typical night watch, but you see that they've actually increased. They've like doubled their watch tonight. So security is pretty high at the moment. There are a few other people that are still awake at the lodge. They look like people that are preparing. They're servants or other
Food
workers that are
and
preparing.
stuff has to be done.
Yeah, preparing the Great Hall for the following day. So, people see you all coming and going, but I mean, no one's really asking you questions.
We're
They're
gonna
just,
probably wait till about like 1 or 2 in the morning before we get this underway.
yeah. So that's about as low as it gets in terms of activity there.
Yeah.
There's going to be a good number of guardsmen patrolling, not so much like marching around patrolling, but they've got their watches. They're making sure no funny business is happening.
Assuming we're invisible, is there any checks that are needed?
Well, I guess we'll find out.
That's fair.
So tell me what's going on. Lykarr, are you casting invisibility on yourself and Nox?
Yep, you said as a 3rd level spell, I can cast it on 2 of us?
2 people. That is correct.
Yep.
Okay, so that's what we'll do.
And that lasts for 1 hour?
Correct.
Yep.
Cool.
Or until you use another concentration spell, I believe.
All right. Nice. Hour seems like a good amount of time. Okay, so you are both, you vanish into thin air, along with the belongings and your clothes and whatnot. You are there in the Great Hall. It's basically as I described it, large circular type chamber, many tables and chairs. There are some other doors leading to these side chambers, which you've basically seen all of them at this point. Well, I guess you haven't been in like all the guest chambers, but you've got a pretty good feel of the place. There are stairs that wrap around.
Yep.
There's a 2nd level, a 3rd level, and you haven't gone up there, so you're not really sure what's up. There are doors. You've seen like these walkways, and you've seen doors, and usually there's guards that are blocking off the upper levels.
Before we leave the room, we'll go over kind of what our game plan is. I say we go up as high as we can and work our way down, because it's more likely the water is going to be all the way at the top. If we find it on our first jaunt, then we don't have to spend a lot of hours and time of our invisibility exploring things that aren't necessarily relevant to us.
Sure.
Yep.
And this is a large building, but it's not a castle. So you don't feel like you're going to be wandering around getting lost in corridors and such. It's just it's like a big, looks like maybe it's a 4-story building, something like that.
How many times could you cast invisibility if you had to, just so we know that we have plenty of invisibility?
Oh, I think
Yeah, you have 3 3rd level
3.
slots.
Yep.
I just saw it when we were doing your level up stuff.
Yep.
Do you have sorcery points or whatever they're called?
Yeah, 7 sorcery points.
Okay, so if need be, you could even convert those.
Well, hopefully we don't need that much.
No, I don't think so. It's just if one of us had to do something that broke the invisibility, it'd be good to be able to undo it or put it back up. So
all right.
Let's go.
So there
Stairs.
there is a guardsman who is right there posted up at the foot of the stairs.
Does he block the entire stairway?
Not the entire thing. If you were to roll acrobatics, you could move past him without brushing against him. There also would be the thing of making sound as you were stepping up the stairs.
Could I create a minor illusion without breaking invisibility, just to make him kind of turn and look at something?
If you cast spells, you break out of invisibility.
I forgot that was the case. Thank you. So no
Can
spells.
Can you take like a coin out of
Yes,
your
I was
and
gonna
like
say
throw
that.
it on the ground and
Yeah, I was gonna take like a gold piece and just kind of like ding, and they can be like, "Ooh, a gold piece," and he'll walk over and pick it up, and we'll be passed, ideally.
All right, so you just flick a gold piece out onto the ground.
Let's see. I want to make sure I have a gold piece. I don't know that I do.
I would imagine you have at
we
least
have.
a gold piece on you.
Yeah, let's say I spend a little coin, and yeah, I'll make it look like it kind of dropped and rolled from somewhere, and there's people. It could potentially have happened. Someone might have kicked it.
All right, so you flick out the gold coin. They probably make it look like it, it dropped from someone working upstairs or something, and it bing, 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 bing. And the soldier who's at the base of the stairs, he looks up, he looks around, kind of like, is anyone looking? And he just goes over to steal the thing.
Yeah, that seems legit.
So, so you guys head up the stairs. Both of you make stealth checks, assuming you're wanting to get up there quietly.
Oh, of course.
As best as possible.
Yeah.
Are you good with stealth?
Yeah, actually, I have +6.
You have a higher than me, and I'm trained in it too. So, oh wait, no, I'm not trained in it. It's the one that I wasn't trained in.
22.
Okay.
I only have an 11. But
All right.
Invisibility give me any bonus or advantage?
Does not. It makes you invisible though, and that's quite awesome.
All right.
All right. So you're heading up the stairs, and these things are old and creaky. And the guardman, he turns back around. What? Who's that?
I'll pause.
He goes.
Up the stairs.
Yeah, he goes to the base of the stairs. You stop moving?
Yep.
Okay. He looks around. He looks a little confused. He starts walking up the stairs, and he's just like, "Hey, who is that?" He's walking. He's going to walk right past you, and he might bump into you unless you like go flush with the wall and like suck in your gut.
That's pretty much what I planned on doing.
Make an acrobatics check, both of you.
Okay. Where's my roll?
I'm going to give advantage to Lykarr. You succeed on your stealth check, so you probably got up farther to a better vantage point.
I got a 23 on my acrobatics check.
16.
All right. So he moves past Nox. Lykarr, you're almost to the top of the stair, to the balcony or walkway, however you want to call it. So you've actually had a little bit more space, just by means of where it kind of curves in and angles up to the balcony. And he moves past you as well, and he goes and he starts like talking with someone. He's kind of like shouting at someone like, "Hey, I told you not to be messing around on the stairs." And the other person says, "What are you talking about? I didn't go there." "Oh yeah, well, who was it?" And then he comes back around and he goes back down to the base of the stairs, just kind of like grumbling to himself.
Here's what I do. As soon as he moves past me, he's creaking on the stairs. I will move while he's moving on the stairs, so the creaking is masked.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. You got an 11, right?
Would you like me to make another stealth check?
No, that's good enough. So you're just again doing what you were doing before, your best, and you managed to time it well enough. So then he goes back down to his post at the base. So the two of you are now on the second floor walkway. So
that thing where the creaking changes to a very quiet violin.
Well, Kobe is just like drinking.
So Kivish, you were with Kobe in the guest room, right?
He's hanging out in our room.
Yeah.
There's the two smaller private quarters for Lykarr and the other one for Nox, and then there's like the guest room that you guys had stayed in previously.
I was thinking it was the guest room, but you did say the private ones, didn't you?
Yeah, come with us to the private rooms, because that way we're just hanging out with our friends until we're ready to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
So
I thought.
then Kivish and Kobe are in like Nox's room.
That's what I would say,
Okay.
unless he had an opinion otherwise. Yeah.
No,
Okay.
that's good.
Sounds good. All right. So Lykarr and Nox, you are on the second floor. There are some people doing some work up here, but they're not really paying much attention. They're not like on the lookout. They're just busy getting, arranging stuff. You see them they're like, moving this heavy table, and they're like arguing about how they're going to get it down the stairs and blah blah blah. So
Let's
you all
avoid
just
them.
kind of
Third
slip
floor.
past them. No big deal there. As you go around the walkway, you pass by a few different doors. Only one of them is open. That's the door close to these two servants. Looking in, it looks like maybe it's a storage room. Then there's the next set of stairs. So you go up those stairs. They're a bit creaky, but you're not really too close to anyone there. Then you're on the third floor. This one wraps around like maybe half of the entire circumference. It's a smaller circumference than the base floor, as this whole structure has this kind of beehive-y thing to it. So it's a smaller circumference. It goes around about halfway, and there are two shut doors, and then the thing just ends. The walkway just ends at the second door.
Let's listen to the first door.
All right, you go and listen to the first door.
Mhm.
You hear voices, women. Maybe the three sisters in there talking.
That makes sense. Sharing a room. Can we make out what they're saying?
Make a perception check.
I would like to try.
I got a
15.
7.
You got a 15, and then
7.
7. All right, so Lykarr, you can't really make it out. It's kind of muffled through the door. Nox, you're making out some things. Yes, it is the three sisters. Their voices sound giddy, kind of like girlish, excited. They keep going back to this topic about the water's back at the Ambrosia Temple. Maybe this time we can get it right. Maybe we can be young, truly young again in a lasting way.
Wonder if they're in the bath of the water.
You hear no watery sounds.
Okay, good. Well, that's good. That's pretty much what I guessed, that they knew about it and that it was keeping them young. Excellent. I just kind of like give Lykarr like the shoulder squeeze of like, and then whisper to him like, what I heard essentially, just
Sure.
a brief summary.
Mhm.
I'm like,
And their
Oh, there-
voices do sound younger. They don't have that textured, aged sound to them.
oh, I know they're younger up here. I was awake that night.
Mhm.
Well, I guess we should listen at the second door.
Yes, let's do that. See if we hear snoring or.
I was just gonna say, you hear snoring.
Let's search this door to see. I assume it's locked, but I'm also curious if it has traps and things of like alarm or anything like that.
Go ahead
So,
and make whatever your perception, investigate, whatever you do.
17 investigation.
17 investigation. Okay. Nice sturdy door, like some well treated hard staves with like iron banding reinforcing it, and a nice big lock on it, like an inset iron lock inside the door.
Okay. So
You do not detect there's any traps or anything of that nature.
didn't think so, but I assume that's locked from the inside, most likely. Yeah. Here's what I'm gonna suggest to Lykarr. Now, Esper, you know how the spell works. I just want to ask you mechanically how it works. If I cast a spell, I become not invisible, but Lykarr still is invisible. Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure. So, my proposal, Lykarr, is I have a spell that will blink me back and forth from the astral plane, this plane, and I'll be able to, or ethereal plane, I think. Let me see where.
Ethereal plane. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ethereal.
Yes, the ethereal plane. And I can teleport during that time like 10 feet away every time that happens. So basically, they won't see me if I'm on the ethereal plane as I go through the door, and I'll get a good look. I can come back out. Well, that's not entirely true, but I can pop in there hopefully, stealthily, open the door, get re-invisibled or whatever we need to do, and I'll keep on blinking as needed.
And hopefully nobody's on the other side of the door.
Well, someone's snoring on the other side of the door, so we know that much. But hopefully, when I'm ethereal, I'll get a look in the room before I come back into the. Let me see how it works. I'm pretty sure I can see things so well on the ethereal plane. You
I
can
didn't know
see
there
and
was an
hear.
ethereal plane. I thought ethereal just meant between planes.
No, the ethereal plane is like the plane that overlays our plane. It's like where ghosts kind of live.
Right, I see.
So
Yeah.
while
Sort
on
of
the
a veil thing, a foggy veil plane.
yeah. And Esper's might be completely different based on his world,
Right.
but it could be like a dream kind of thing. Who knows?
Yeah.
I will leave that up to you. I assume I kind of know because I have blinked.
Yeah,
before.
you have blink and you've used it before, so you know when you go into the ethereal plane, you can't see far. You're like in a sort of a dreamy fog, like a dreamy fog
says,
version of the
60
world.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. You can see about 60 feet.
and
And
shades
yeah,
of gray.
you are kind of like a ghost thing, and every once in a while you'll see these weird spirits like coming through the fog and like peering at you, or maybe a slithering aberration deal from the nightmares of the Mer Queen. I don't imagine you've blinked too much in your life, but you have done it before, and it's like not a nice place to hang out, but it has served you well when you need to be kind of like slipping through places in a
Correct.
arcane sneak fashion.
Yep. So just to be clear, there's no one else on this level, guard-wise. This is a private
No.
level.
Yeah, it's a small walkway, just wraps half of this smaller circumference here, and there's just been the two doors.
Let's keep the ball rolling. I will cast Blink after discussing this with Lykarr. Lykarr, do you have anything to say before I do this?
No, I think it's a good plan, and I'll make sure I have another invisibility spell ready.
Yep. Hopefully, like 60 feet might be enough to see, like, based on the dimensions of this place, I might be able to just see 60 feet once I walk through the door, the entire room. And if there's anything dangerous in there, then I'll come back out, essentially. So I'm casting Blink, and let's keep the ball rolling.
So you cast Blink,
Yep.
which I believe you must make a
D20
verbal
roll.
and somatic component. So you make your spell.
Yep. What? Okay.
I don't know what the incantation of Blink sounds like. So there's probably some echoing of your voice down this large cylindrical building, and this lasts
like
for
my
1
spells
minute.
would be very, very quiet, but that's me.
You make it as quiet as you can, but you have to supply a verbal component.
You're right.
The spell lasts for 1 minute, so we'll do this for 10 rounds. So roll a d20 at each of these rounds, at the end of each round. So
absolutely.
Go ahead.
So first round, I got a 19 on the die, which I believe blinks me out.
Yes. All right. So you enter into the ghostly ethereal. At first, it seems like a vague, smoky fog. You can kind of see through different parts of the material world. It seems like you pass through the wall here, right, to peer into the chamber beyond the door.
Yes.
Okay. You see a dimly lit, probably kind of like a hazy black and white version. It looks like Lord Eck is sleeping in his bed. He has a well-appointed bed chamber. There are two shut doors. One is a pretty standard-looking door. The other one is another one of those like reinforced locked-looking doors. That's one at the far side of his bed chamber.
Okay. I will move towards the. Let's see. I can move because I still have my turn. I'll go for the locked, the really well looking locked one.
All right, you make your way there. And I think at the beginning of your next turn, you come back.
I do. I
Yes.
pop back in.
Okay. So now we're on like turn 2, and you come back. Right? Is that right? At
Yeah, it's basically, yeah, I would take my whole turn, and then it kind of happens at the end of each of my turns.
At the end of each of your turns, you vanish and appear in the ethereal plane.
So I cast
At
the
the
spell.
at the start of each of your turns, and when the spell ends, you return to an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within 10 feet of the space that you vanished from. Okay. So at the end of your turn, you blinked out, and then at the start of your next turn, you're reappearing like inside his chamber. Is that what I'm getting from you?
That's correct.
Okay.
And if
so
if you need to justify the place that I can see through the lock?
well, I assume when you cast it, you were right up against the door, so
Maybe
it's,
I can push through. Yeah, you're right. I'm
that's
just yeah.
we'll say it's good enough. We might be fucking up this spell, but whatever.
So long as you're fine with it, I feel like it's thematically kind of cool way to get through the door.
Let me see. Next turn. So next place you can see within 10 feet. Whatever.
I can look under the
We'll
door,
say
or
that you cast it like right next to the door.
Yep.
And when it's not your turn,
Mhm.
you can like look at a place, I think, easily enough using up a free action or a reaction or something.
Sure.
Works for me. All right, so then you reappear inside of the bedchamber of Lord Eck.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
But he's there in his bed, snoring away. He has a lamp, like one little lamp with like the flame down low. Looks like he has a pretty nice bed chamber here. It smells of like perfumed oils, kind of a cedary smell to it.
Just crouch down as stealthily as I can, and yeah, I'm gonna just look around. Like I'm not gonna do anything until I've observed my environment better in the real world.
Okay. And then Lykarr on the other side of the door there, you are looking out. It doesn't seem like anyone noticed his spell casting. So far, all seems well.
Okay, I'm just going to hold fast.
Yeah,
Seems
the
like
daughters are on the other side of the door. They're kind of like giggling, and people downstairs are kind of busy working. So, seems like nobody noticed.
Oh.
All right, end of your second turn. Roll your d20.
Let's find out if it. The next roll is a 12. So look out again.
All right.
I'm gonna use that on the next door.
Yep, you see beyond the second door, there is a staircase going upwards.
Ooh.
Another kind of wrapping, kind of snail stair.
I would like to.
So you're gonna reappear on the stair then?
Yeah, like I'm gonna scout this out and then I'll come back because I've got a minute with this spell and I can still do it to get myself out if need be with my other slot.
All right. So turn 3, you reappear at the space you could see, which is like there on this rack stairs. Let me look at something.
I'm going up the stairs.
Okay. You are heading up the stairs. You feel a tingling sensation. The moment you just see these stairs wrapping up, it's just a stairwell, a kind of a cramped one at that. You're feeling a tingling sensation in you, and you feel a bit of energy, actually. It feels kind of good.
So, do I feel younger? Maybe.
You feel a little bit of vigor and some odd tingling going through you.
Okay.
Up the stairs you go.
I go up the stairs. I know what
Okay.
I know what I suspect is happening.
Mm-hmm. You make your way to the top of the stairs. You find a small chamber, which is like the little top cap section of the Horncomb Lodge, of the Great Lodge, rather. And you see a pool. It is a pool crafted in a like a nice, pleasant, like a bathing, large bathing sort of area made out of clay. It like actually melds into the floor itself at the base, and it is filled with crystal clear water. It is not lit at the moment, so you're just seeing this with your
dark vision, devil's vision.
Yeah, with your devil's sight. This is a large pool, a rather large pool, not quite as large as the pool in the Ambrosia Temple, but damn near. Nearly all of this entire room is this pool.
Here's my question: ceiling, how high?
It's a dome sort of ceiling. It goes up about 20 feet.
What about the walls?
Circular walls. The circumference is not. It's not a large circumference in this room. We'll say a circumference of like maybe 30 feet.
I assume that the room is completely sealed to the outside. There are no windows or anything. Yep.
There's probably some kind of like small air hole things, but no windows.
Air holes. Okay. That I can work with.
Yeah, we'll say there's like a kind of like a pipe air hole thing. I'm not sure what the technical term is. There we go. Yeah, kind of like a small pipe vent thing, sticking out of the ceiling, but there are no windows.
And based on
there are windows on all of the other floors.
So just I'm gonna try to be as I don't want to get technical here, but I want to plan this out.
Okay. Before you do planning, roll your d20.
Yep, good call. Where is it? 6. So I do not go.
All right, you do not go ethereal.
Which
all right,
good because
you're
I
in turn 4.
Yep. Do the walls look like someone could like open a hole in one? Just out of curiosity.
You've been in this place already a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, if someone could feasibly bash through a wall.
Okay. I mean, I'm not suggesting that, but like worst case, open out our own exit for it. The stairs. Does it look like someone could get a barrel up and down these stairs?
Yeah, it would be a bit difficult, but you could see how a guy in front and a guy behind could haul up like a barrel at a time. It would be painstaking, but it's feasible.
How much water does it look like? How many barrels of water, I guess, is my question. Because we're not going to get all of it necessarily. Yeah, sure thing.
Roll your d20 because you're there analyzing everything.
Yep, you're fine. 15.
All right.
So I blink out. I'll start heading back.
As you're in the ghostly ethereal, you see something moving in the water, maybe a little tendril of something in the ethereal plane.
Yeah, cool. I will study it with my Arcana knowledge while staying back from the edge so it doesn't grab me.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Knowledge Arcana?
All
right, let's see if I can do this. That's only a 12. I mean, I don't
certainly a strange creature born from the nightmares of the Mer Queen. And then you are back into the physical material world. Oh, what a strange spell this is. A little bit discombobulating. What were you thinking about? Barrels, water.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're trying to assess this. Make an intelligence check.
Sure. Intelligence check. 13 total.
Looks like a lot of water. Must have taken many barrels.
Thanks, Esper.
Roll your d20.
Better start heading back.
Oh, I was going to, but he asked for the d20 before I could say it. 15, so I go back ethereal.
All right. You're in ghostly ethereal, and then you reappear.
Back. Yeah.
You're on turn 6. Down the stairs. Wait for potential blinking.
Yep. I do not blink that turn.
Okay, turn 7. And roll.
I do not blink again the next
Turn
turn.
8.
Let's see. 10 is not a blink again. It's 11
And-
up, so.
Turn 9.
I will choose to wait. I guess I'm behind the door in the stairwell.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
even though I'm rolling, I did not blink again for the final turn.
Okay.
But that's fine because I want to be behind this door
You're
when
stuck there forever.
when I cast the spell again. That way, Lord Ek doesn't wake up if I cast in his chamber. You know what I mean?
All right, you cast blink once more.
I go back up the stairs.
Go
Let me
back
let
up
me
the
finish.
stairs.
No, to cast it so that he doesn't hear me saying the spell because apparently it's really loud.
Bring some water.
Lykarr.
All right,
Can I,
you cast blink up in the
well,
pool chamber.
Hang on. Before I cast the spell, do I have it? Can I put like some of this water in my water skin?
Would you like to do that?
Yes.
When you dip your hand in there, woo, that tingles. That feels really interesting. All right, you fill up your water skin.
All right, and then I like shake the water off my hand because tainted. All right. Yeah. So I head back. I cast blink and then I head out. So let's see if this works.
All right, so you're going up and down the stairs, but you feel fine, man. You've got like energy going here, and you got these little prickle tingle things all through you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be totally drained tomorrow. I'm sure this will be good.
Sleeping at the wedding.
Yep. Good news is I got a 12 on my next roll. So
All
let's
right.
blink.
So you blink. You then appear in Lord Kyle's chamber on turn 2.
All right, I'll try again. Trying to get through the door. That's an 8, so I don't blink out again. We'll go to turn 3 with a nat 20.
Just before you pass through the door, you see a strange ghostly thing in the mists hovering over Lord Kyle's bed.
Ooh.
It looks like a head with some hair. The eyes are looking at you. And when it gets down to the mouth, it just kind of like goes out as if it's a sheet. And just like it's this long sheet-like wisping section. And this thing's just like floating there looking at you.
Is it doing anything to Lord Kyleck?
Just hovering over him.
Okay. I give it the thumbs up.
Okay.
Yeah, like and I pass through the door.
Lykarr, you are rejoined by your ally.
Oh, we're going to cast the quick invisibility spell again.
Good call.
Okay.
I also let my blink go away.
Invisitus al ooh.
You disappear into thin air.
Excellent. And then I whisper to Lykarr, I found the water. It's gonna be a little tricky to get through.
Oh no, he's rolling the dice.
Let's see if anyone heard, I'm sure. We should discuss this back with the others. Let's go.
Okay, well, as quietly as possible, we'll try and make our way back.
Okay. So the two of you make your way down to the second floor and then down to, or the stairs leading down to the ground level. Again, there's the watchman at the base of the stairs. What are you going to do about him?
So here's a question though.
Just jump down there?
Well, actually, you know,
Is there
There's
anything near
no-
the edge of the stairs?
I was gonna say, is there a balcony, like a railing?
It's a handrail.
Can we just hop over the rail down onto the ground when we're like 5 feet from the ground, so we avoid walking through the guard?
It would make some noise.
Well, I mean, so here's the railing. We go over the railing, hold the railing, come down to where the stair is, and let go. We're both about 5 feet tall. I'm like 6 feet tall. I assume we just land on the ground after dropping.
Hey,
like,
there's clever thinking.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, if that'll work.
Yes. Woo!
I-
All
spatial
right.
awareness.
So
I do.
Nox should take off his hat and do a little bow on that one. All right, so you all slink over the other side of the handrail, grab on, climb your way down a little bit, and then
Gravity helps.
there you are. So you rejoin your I'll give you both half milestone for
exploring.
that little scene there.
Yeah, you did a good job there. That invisibility was a lifesaver.
What comes in handy now and then?
Mm-hmm.
We'll learn our
All
abilities.
right, so the whole party is back together. The three of you, or should the four of you, Kobe included.
Oh, Kobe's the most valuable member here. He's gonna be carrying those barrels. All right. So yeah, let's have a powwow, guys. I know where the water is. I tell you guys everything I just saw, so you can use that knowledge. There were things in the ethereal. There are spirits and things. It looked like something was in the water, and that's probably what's cursing and tainting the water here. But so long as we might be able to purify it if we bring it back to Morpheus's domain where it is protected against whatever nightmares are out here. I think that would be wise before trying to attempt to use it like Lykarr. Otherwise, it could just nightmare fuel, your nightmare inside you.
Oh boy, yeah, that's probably a good idea.
I did take a little sample though, just in case. If you wanted to, risk it. So here's my thoughts. Let's try and get at least 4 barrels. Really, it's all about opportunity. At least 2 barrels. We're gonna have at least 2, but Lord Eck is probably gonna give us a bunch of barrels to use. So let's try and fill up as many of them as we can. The trouble is getting up and down the stairs. So I wish that we had stone shape available to us, but I know that that is more powerful than any of us know.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any suggestions?
I could learn melt or to prepare meld with stone or merge with stone, whatever it's called at this level, but that's not the same thing. That's like
No, it will not.
a good way of
Unfortunately,
hiding and hiding mostly, but
yeah.
really.
What about you, Lykarr? Do you have any magical things that would aid in getting the water from up there outside down to the ground level without going through the inside?
Not. I have Mage Hand, but I don't think that can lift very much.
No, Mage Hand is like just a hand, an invisible force.
Yeah, Fly.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Charm Person.
The kind of best thing I have in that regard now is my Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow, but that's honestly best at just sort of protecting your rest.
I know what that does. Yeah, that's unfortunately not going to get the water out.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well,
so the party kind of puzzles over how this water might be pilfered, extracted out of the attic.
Yep.
Not sure. Do you want to pull an all-nighter thinking on this, or do you want to go to sleep and be refreshed for your wedding tomorrow?
I think we should definitely go to sleep, be refreshed for the wedding. But my last thought on this is,
I mean, if I cast Fly on myself,
we're gonna need the key off Lord Eck. I assume he's the one that has the key, anyways. So we're either gonna have to rob him for that, or yeah, if you fly, I guess you could fly up to the top, and if you created a hole or something.
If I had a really big straw, I could get the water out from the vent.
Yeah.
A pump of some sort is not a terrible idea.
Yeah.
I just don't know what we use. Is there anything that they use for the fields for like getting water to the crops and things?
We could certainly ask, you haven't seen anything that seems pump-like.
No. I'm just trying to think, like, what sort of stable sort of things would they have? If we even just had something like a trough that we could, like, move the water up and down, I don't know. Okay, how much does a barrel weigh?
Well, how big of a barrel is it? How much water do they hold?
That's
Yeah,
my
so
question.
Nox was trying to assess that kind of logistical information up there, and in the span of that intelligence check, he was just sort of, oh, it's like
That's
a bunch of water. Surely this would be many barrels. I mean, you probably can look at some barrels just from what's around you, and Nox is kind of describing it as best he can. So let's give an intelligence check to both Kivish and Lykarr.
Yeah.
Intelligence check, you said?
Indeed.
So here's the best idea I have.
Huh. Nice. So I got 19.
Oh, I got an 18.
Okay, those are both pretty good.
Yep. Here's the best idea.
I'm going to give you an estimate here from based on his description.
I thought that the fly spell had a limit how much you could carry while flying, but it doesn't. I assume it's just
go off of more your own carrying weight.
That's my thought.
Your own carrying capacity.
Kobe is real strong.
Yeah, Kobe's a strapping guy. Kivish and Lykarr, you both kind of put your noggins together and you go off of what Nox has described. You imagine that pool has maybe some 20 barrels worth of water in it.
So
we have how many barrels? Not 20, right? Or do we have a kind of an indeterminate number?
It wasn't determined yet, but it sounds like Lord Eck was going to get a big wagon with a bunch of barrels.
Okay, so we could theoretically use our wagon full of barrels to get all this water if we so chose.
Theoretically.
Right.
Whatever we don't get, we leave. Like, honestly, it's cursed water, and bringing back 70% of the water is still better than none of the water to the temple.
Right.
So, here's my thought, guys. Can one of you, with magic or just strength, create a hole in the exact ceiling of this place? Like, fly up to the top, land on the dome, cut straight down. Go in with barrels, flying them, barrels, leaving the barrels in there, filling the barrels up, and then once all the barrels are ready for transport, we wait and then fly out invisible. I don't know.
There's a lot of flying in it. How long does fly last?
Fly lasts 10 minutes, and it's a concentration spell, as I believe.
There you go.
What if we...
I do want to note something that you all would be aware of. All your characters would realize this, especially so now that Nox just said the thing that he said. Yeah. When you're standing in the center of the Great Hall on the ground floor and you look straight up, the ceiling there is the floor to the attic.
Oh.
Well, I was just going to say, is there a way we could just go up and doesn't need a big hole, just a little hole.
And just pour it down into the barrels?
Well, that's going to be kind of obvious for everyone standing here. This.
I mean, it'd be great to get it out, to get the water out, but...
yeah, it seems like if you could just crack a hole just straight up in the ceiling, you're just going to have like this little stream of the water coming straight down to the center of the floor of the Great Hall.
What if we made the water walk out by itself?
Is there a way you have to manipulate the water itself?
So I'm looking at the shape water cantrip, and I wasn't sure if that was necessarily applicable, and I'm still not completely sure, but I can apparently... It affects a 5-foot cube of water. So
is that in Xanathar's guide?
What's that from?
Wait.
Yes.
Yeah, it's from Xanathar's guide.
Okay. There's a cantrip in Xanathar's guide. Choose an area of water you can see within range that fits a 5-foot cube. You can manipulate it in one of the following ways. You instantaneously move or otherwise change the flow of the water as you direct up to 5 feet in any direction. The movement, okay. Simple shapes. Okay. Okay. So with each casting, you can move a 5-foot cube of water 5 feet in any direction.
Or
seems-
cause the water to form into simple shapes and animate at my direction. That was the one I was sort of more
So
looking at. I'm still not
this
sure
would
that's
mean you're gonna
really.
pour it into the barrels using this cantrip.
Yeah.
Okay, I see that. I see what you mean by that. Do you know this cantrip?
Yeah.
Well, how about
How
that?
about
Oh, you should have told us this before.
actually? So here, even
Yeah.
better plan. There's a vent up there. We don't have to crack the walls or anything.
Right.
We use that tiny hole. Water will fit through it.
That's
Just
what I was thinking.
you suck the water out to a barrel that's on the top, and yeah, we just fill it up and then fly it down to the wagon when no one's looking.
Right.
Hmm. But that still wouldn't account for how you would get the. Are you talking about the water going through the air pipe in the ceiling?
Yes.
The spell's not. I
Mhm.
mean, I could see how it could like make him lift water up maybe 5 feet,
Well,
but then it would just
yeah.
crash back
It
down.
relies on
Yeah.
a very liberal interpretation of
It does
animate
not
at
give.
my
Yeah,
direction.
it does not turn the
That's
water
fair.
into like water birds that fly around. No,
No,
Right,
you're
which
fair.
would be
All right.
awesome, but I didn't figure it did, given it's a cantrip.
no, no. But I mean, animate the water. That makes sense to me. Like the water starts flowing in the direction that you tell it to.
So you could waterfall it down into the barrels.
You
if
could
we-
waterfall it down.
So here's
Yeah.
the thing: how do we? The problem is, I like that the floor is right above us, and we could crack that, and then they'd never know. But there's just way too much water. Unless we could plug it.
Right.
Unless we could somehow
Does that
seal the
mean
crack.
water weighs a lot, and there's a lot of pressure for that much water?
Yeah.
It'd be like
So-
a pool.
How about? My biggest problem is doing this without being seen. That's why I wanted to do it on the outside, because people are going to be inside and festivities going on while we're feasting and being merry. So I figured outside would be less watched. So
Okay. So
Sorry.
yeah. So with that, ever make another intelligence check.
yeah. If I can figure out a way of doing this, that'd be great. Just I'm not sure.
17.
10.
17. That hits a little something. Kivish.
Let's see. Not great. 14.
Okay.
Not bad.
So I'm just going to throw out some stuff to Lykarr here, just things that Lykarr might be thinking of as you're all are strategizing. So Nox was talking about outside. Well, Lykarr, you can fly now. If there's a way to maybe make a hole on the outside, and then Kivish can somehow flow the water with that cantrip. If Kivish somehow gets in the attic, and then he can flow it out the
side.
you know how the building has this shape to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then we
It
just
never rains around here, does it?
What's that?
It never rains around here, does it?
Sometimes it's not a common thing. It's a more
So
arid
if
area.
somebody who was an illusionist were to cast an illusion to make it appear to rain, to maybe
would go
add some
inside.
cover.
Yeah, you can, I mean, if you had some kind of storm or even illusionary storm, you could make
I mean,
like
I'm not the one that
thunder
does that,
rumble,
that's-
thunder like rumble
yeah.
at the moment that you crack open the wall.
Right.
And
That's
I don't know,
entirely Noxiqual's
can you
purview
blink
here.
Kivish inside the place, or is blink self only?
blink yourself only.
Can Kivish somehow get in there? Maybe as like an animal or invisible,
Let's see.
stealing a key.
Well, I mean, yeah, I could wild shape.
Yeah.
Alright.
So I think, I mean, probably Lykarr is imagining like, okay, I'm flying up there, or I make
I could
someone
wild
else
shape it.
fly. We crack a little
Someone else
hole.
fly.
Kivish is in the attic, and Kivish flows the water and makes it like just kind of flow out and just have a barrel just right there on the ground outside the building, just catching the constant stream of water.
Actually, so here's my plan. We park the wagon next to the wall, and people won't go near it because it's a wagon. You just leave it alone. It's sitting there next to the wall.
Be like on the opposite side of the festivities, on the other side of the building.
Lykarr, we're going to be in the wedding, so we can't. We're going to be a distraction. But Kivish and Kobe can come up to us every now and then, and we can give them our haha, blessing, blah blah, spell cast, go fly. You've got 10 minutes. Come back before the 10 minutes is up, and we'll do it again, kind of. And we
Actually,
do that.
strictly speaking, until I'm 8th level, I do have the wild shape restriction of no flying speed. But that doesn't mean I can't wild shape into.
Fly is a spell that can be cast on someone else, though.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, he can put fly on you. How small? How small can you get?
How small? The only limitations are CR and movement. At 4th or higher level, the only thing has to be it can be a maximum of a CR 1/2 creature, and it can't have a flying speed. Other than that, anything that I've seen before.
Really? I thought there was a size limit as well.
Here, I'm pulling it up.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured it was like no bigger than medium, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are. Beast shapes.
Definitely do bigger than medium. I know you can do bears and stuff as soon as you get it.
But you don't want to be too big.
No. I mean, the gist of this is, Lykarr, you'll be providing the spells that get them up there. Ideally...
Okay, so there is no size minimum.
Right.
So Kivish could just turn into a freaking spider and then crawl down the air tube.
Or like a bee, because we know there are bees around.
Yeah, he can't fly, but
he can just, fly spell. With a spider, he can crawl right up the side.
Yeah, he can just climb up the side of the building and then just climb down the tube.
That's beautiful. So here's the plan.
Because then he'd be in there all by himself. He would have some time.
All you need to do is make a little crack in the wall.
Make a little crack in the wall, and then have Kobe down by the barrels, just kind of making sure no one's messing with it. And you flow the water. You just need to make sure it goes into the right path. Kobe could actually just have like a little funnel. He catches the water in and maybe he pretends like he's drunk or something. And he's just chilling by the barrels.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good plan.
And worst case, something goes wrong, Kobe comes and gets us. Or
have him act drunk and have him maybe have some regular water he can pour little bits of against a wall every now and then to make it look like he's
not
in the mood to be disturbed. Yeah.
All right. So to the wedding?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Sorry that took so long, Esper.
All right, you all. Your plan has developed. It seems like you have a winning solution. You all go to bed, sleep as much as you can. The following morning, you get up. There's a lot of preparations going on. They're telling you where you need to be, what you need to do during the ceremony. It's typical wedding preparations. You eat breakfast. You eat lunch. The wagon that Lord Kyle is going to be furnishing for you, and the barrels are in a storage building that's close to the Great Lodge. He hasn't really put too much thought into that yet because he's thinking, you're going to do your expedition after tomorrow or the next day, sometime here soon after the wedding. But you know where it's at. There's a storage building that has a couple wagons.
Kobe, make the arrangements.
Harnesses. All right. What do you want Kobe to do?
So, just pull the wagon next to the building and say that, just you're parking it there or something. Come up with something. I trust you, Kobe.
Preparing for the expedition.
Yeah.
Okay. What about the horses or mules or whatever?
You don't have to attach them yet. Just move the wagon, and put the horses back or whatever, and just leave the wagon there. That's less suspicious.
And what if a guard comes and asks me what I'm doing?
Just say that you were, told to bring the barrels here. It's okay. It's all cleared by, just bluff them like I do. I'll give you some of my magic. You can totally sweet talk.
Oh, I'll do my best. You know, I don't got a silver tongue like you do.
No, but just tell them that it's all been approved. The barrels are very important. Lord Eck wants these, close by, ready to go when we leave on an expedition.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yep.
All right. So the guests, I mean, they were arriving all throughout the day, mostly guests from Horncombe Lodge from this village. But some people have come in from other regions, guests of the Eck family, other nobles, and some other individuals. You everyone make an insight check.
Insight.
Oh, geez.
I'm decent at that.
I'm gonna get my insight trained or
That's
something.
pretty good. That's 17. That's plus some stuff.
I got a
That
6.
is
18.
21 total.
All right. So you've seen some guests that have arrived from outside of Merkalon's Jaw, invitees of the Eck family, and you catch little bits of their chatter and whatnot. You don't hear anyone mentioning anything about a guardian to get past in order to enter the peninsula of Merkalon's Jaw. Seems like everyone was able just to walk all up in here like normal. You
I'll ask about Brekka. Like, has anyone seen Brekka?
one of the guests that you ask says to you, they tell you that they came all the way from the town of Oldenmark, and they were told that there was a guardian that they'd have to bribe or pay off in order to get a passage into the peninsula, but they didn't see any guardians.
Well, Adam's character Kivish did send a message.
That is true.
Brekka.
That is true.
I'm not. Well, no, that should have gotten to her by now if it was long
Oh, it
enough
would
ago.
have definitely gotten to her by now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the wedding ceremony comes, the crowds are gathered, music plays. Lykarr and Nox, you are positioned at the front of the crowd. Lord Kyle himself is officiating the ceremony. The brides come out and they look youthful as ever. I mean, they've done themselves up well, and they do seem to have a little youthful spark in them this day. So they're all prettied up, all dolled up. They're happy. They're beaming. Some people have some tears glistening in their eyes, and they come and stand. Woman and man, woman, and we got the two pairs right up in front of everyone. Lord Kyle's officiating. He kind of mumbles on about the virtues of fortitude and steadfastness and waiting, and those that have determination will persevere, and they will eventually reap the fruits of their for not giving up, and eventually will see their labors come to fruition. And he gives a few what I want to say here, tributes to some vague greater dwellers within this land. There's no divine stuff mentioned at all, but he does mention the greater powers that are beyond our kin, and may they be pleased in our unions and bindings. Then he comes to the party, and if there's any present in this crowd who feel that neither of these pairs should be joined this day, speak now, or forever remain with your peace.
No, I don't. I don't object. Nobody objects.
Waiting
Does
for
somebody
Brekka to
object?
just uppercut.
What?
I object.
Wait, actually?
Who speaks?
The crowd looks back, and you see at the back of the crowd a tall, cloaked figure, a female half-orc who draws back her hood and stamps her staff down.
Remember, Kivish is not one of the ones here being married.
I have come to save these She's a female. I have come to save these good-hearted adventurers, mighty heroes from the corrupt and lithing tendrils of the Hex. Who are the Hex?
I just like there's this dead silence.
Yeah. Who is this thing here? Brecca the Rock stands in objection of this wedding. Kivish,
I'm gonna.
Kivish, you're not in the crowd?
Well,
Thought you were off.
I think
doing
Kivish is in the crowd. Oh, you're just saying you're not getting married. Okay.
I would be in the crowd to start with. The question is just,
right.
did I already sneak off?
So Kivish is like, oh, good.
If I didn't, I'm going to worm my way over to her and like elbow her in the side and say, "Play along." But I feel like I probably have snuck off by this point. This sounds like something that I would absolutely be the
We're
prime
still
time for
in
me to
the
be.
wedding, so yeah, this is the best chance to sneak off.
Yeah, no,
Everyone's
I
gonna be
would
watching.
have snuck off. If I hear this, I'm gonna think, God damn it. But yeah, no, I've absolutely snuck off by that point. I have flown up to the top, and I'm working on. I guess I don't know. What would be the best time to make that hole?
Probably
maybe later after everyone's drunk and it's nighttime.
Yeah, that seems good.
All right, then I'm hanging out in the pool chamber, just sort of.
I like your idea of like stopping Brecca before she like spills too many beans.
Yeah,
She's probably gonna be like, "I received your letter of the corrupted."
Yeah, fuck this, Kivish.
I'd put it to your mercy or a luck roll or something of whether or not I had snuck off by that point.
Make a stealth check.
I don't recall you even consulting us when you sent this letter either. I think you just did it.
No, I didn't. I mentioned it to you after the fact, but honestly, I sought to have her help in the eventual.
Yeah, I remember the plans at the time. I just remember this. Like, this is probably really confusing to my character. Like,
right. Well, no, I did mention it to him, but other than that, I also, this is not really the reaction I expected either. So, however she interpreted it was entirely up to her.
Brecca is a hammer. And you put a hammer to solve like a puzzle here. We're just gonna like.
Yes, I am using a hammer to drive a screw at the very least.
Yeah.
All right, make a stealth check, Kivish.
But, yeah.
I will. I'll try and calm Brecca down and be like.
Okay. That is 12 plus. Am I proficient in it? No, wait, still plus 3, so still 15.
You got 15 exactly. Okay, you barely got it. So Brecca's like, I received word of the Hex, and then like at this moment, like Kivish like appears like sneaking up behind her and is like, Kyleck! And she's like, I got confused. Sorry.
Are you here to?
Wait, this is Horncomb Lodge? Oh, I meant I was supposed to go to Heathcomb Lodge.
Object to this wedding starting without me.
Yes.
Wait, this isn't the Turtle Dome? Oh! All right.
I believe what Brecca here was trying to say was that they object to the wedding until they have blessed us with their presence. So, very dramatic, this Brecca.
Lord Kyle is not amused.
I will deception the shit out of Lord Kyle if I need to.
If you interrupt this wedding once more with your tomfoolery, I will have you thrown in the jail, you pig-faced barbarian. And so, it is with great joy that I introduce to you all Noxiqual, the dread wolf of the sea, and my own fair daughter, Jasmine Eck.
Go with it. We'll go.
And Lykarr, Stormbringer, and my own fair Brianna,
Did you forget his daughter's name?
My own fair Aubrey.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Wait a minute.
No, Aubrey
Aubrey
is
and
mine.
Jasmine. Freyanna was the one that's not.
Aubrey the honey flower. Husbands and wives. You may now kiss your brides and let us all celebrate. Oh, huzzah! All right, so
I have
wedding
a
is
spell
concluded.
ready as I kiss the brides, like firework kind of like illusion. Like make it. You only get married once. Exactly.
The crowd cheers, they clap, they cry. They are very confused as to what the hell that half-orc was just talking about, and this strange mossy dwarf who is trying to assuage her confused state.
But hey, don't worry about that. Fireworks.
All right, then it's just a procession of congratulations, and then the brides are very ready to make very official their unions.
Oh, I would assume there would be dancing and drinking and all that, but I assume we're just fast forwarding through all that.
Well, there will be dancing and drinking. There will be the festivities, but the brides and grooms must consummate the marriage first.
So that has to go forward first. That's fine. Upstairs?
Yeah.
You both have your private quarters on the ground floor.
That's fine. Is that where they want to go? I assumed, Aubrey, you'd be much more comfortable on your own.
They are going to the private quarters on the ground floor. She says, someday I will take you up there and it will be a very special moment.
Are you sure you don't want to right now?
Oh no. She's too shy.
So if this is medieval style law, or soon medieval style law, you're not going to consummate this based on that. So therefore, you're probably off the hook, just in case it ever comes back to you that you have to blow town. You know?
So wait.
That marriage was never official, babe. It mean nothing. Or that marriage was never official, officer. It meant nothing.
I'm pretty sure
that marriage was never
they
official.
let their daddy
Lord.
know.
It meant nothing.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, I mean, sure, we'll go into our private rooms.
Do the deed.
Okay. You do the deeds. Noxiqual. When you are very close and intimate with your bride, yours is the blonde?
Yes.
Okay, so you're with Aubrey. You're kissing and caressing and all of these wonderful things. At first, it's a little weird because she's significantly older, but then she has a really charming, pleasant way, and
She's
something
trying
about
to
it,
charm me. Yeah.
you just find it nice and seductive. Make a charisma saving throw with disadvantage.
Hey, can I make a suggestion spell on her?
She's not casting a spell, but you need to make this first because you're
I'll do
already making out with her.
That's fine. Charisma save is my best save, so I just hope I roll well.
You have disadvantage.
Oh, yes.
Okay, well, even with disadvantage, I have an 18 total.
Okay. So she is she definitely has a seducing, charming way about her, and you find it perhaps amusing or pleasant or something to that effect. And then
what's she trying to get me to do, I guess, is what I'm trying to figure out.
She just wants to make sweet love.
All right.
She's been dying for this moment. I've been waiting for a warlock like you coming to my life.
I cast Major Illusion and leave him in my place.
Oh, baby, I am burning for you. Oh, I'm for you.
Yes, please do put that there. That feels.
And then in the other chamber with Lykarr and Jasmine. Jasmine does a kind of seductive dance for you. You don't have to make any kind of saving throws on it. And she, boy, is a compassionate, tender, and giving, loving woman. And
Cool.
boy, she just is so happy to treat you so well and be really sweet on you in every possible way.
Well, you did get the old
Lykarr is
one.
a happy man.
Okay, Lykarr says, all right. Festivities happen. The brides and grooms return later on after they've had their time to themselves. There's drinking, there's music, there's dancing, and it's going on and on into the night. And if I'm to understand things correctly, at a certain point, we have Kivish as a spider crawl up into the attic through the air pipe. And we have Lykarr casting Fly on Kobe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that would be a good idea so Kobe can help from the outside crack the hole.
All right. So the plan is for Kobe to fly up and crack it on the opposite side, away from the festivities, and he's going to take the wagon with the barrels over there too.
Plus,
and then
that way the hole goes inward so stuff doesn't fall outward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Kivish will be using his water cantrip to direct, basically like a little snake, a little stream thing down the side. Yeah. Excellent.
A little trickle. Yep.
Most excellent. Okay.
Good luck.
I forgot my thing. I should have rolled. You last 1d4 minutes with your new wife.
That smile on your face, Esper, makes me think that this plan goes off without a hitch.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet.
Or a big hitch.
So, Kivish, you're in the topmost chamber. You've done your spider form, and now you're back into your actual dwarf form.
Yep.
You see this large pool of water. Are you doing anything at all, or just waiting?
I mean, really, until the time that it's actually go time, unless something happens.
No, it's quiet and it's dark.
I mean, he might I don't know. He might pull a piece of eel jerky out of his trail rations and eat that, but actually,
you've probably eaten through all your rations at this point. You were out in the Badlands for almost a week.
When we got back,
he might dip a hand in and take a tiny little sip.
That's
what he might do.
It's not for drinking though.
You want to take a little sip?
It's water. I mean, if he did eat his last piece of eel jerky, that stuff's pretty salty. So.
All right. You take a sip, and a tingle runs all through your belly. Ooh. You feel kind of a little youthful surge of energy, like a nice strong cup of coffee. Yeah, easily a couple dwarven decades younger. It's a strange feeling. Lots of tingles and prickles radiating out from you.
Sorry, decades are like months to a dwarf, please.
But soon after, you hear a sound of like hammering from the wall.
All right. Using my dwarven masonry and stonecutting experience, I'm gonna, feel the vibrations and find the location of it, and I'm gonna start hammering away at my side.
All right. Clink, clink, clack, clack, clink, clack. Make a perception check.
All right. I'm actually pretty good at that. Or at least my wisdom is. Ooh, 18 plus. I'm proficient in it, plus wisdom. So, 24.
You hear a man's voice from the outside. Hey! What the fuck are you doing up there?
Wait, that's not Kobe's voice.
That is definitely not Kobe's voice.
Queen, damn it, Kobe. Wait, so is he not hammering from the outside? Or he is, he got spotted.
You hear him not come up with a response.
God damn
What
it,
do you do?
Kobe. Kobe. Fucking it all
do you want to go out there? You want to go out there, or do you want to stay in the room?
I'm not going to go out there. The question is, what kind of a spell could zap that guy quick enough that he would be able to scream?
All right, so there is someone shouting at Kobe, and Kobe, he so far just says,
There isn't enough of a hole for him to climb through, is there?
No, there's like, you're chipping away at the wall, but you don't have it, you don't have a hole to the outside yet.
No, Kobe flying out there, right?
Yeah, Kobe is flying.
Why doesn't he just fly away?
You should say this, and I tell him something in Sylvan, so like,
who are you talking to?
Really flowy thing. I'm telling Kobe to say something in Sylvan, so that the guy thinks he's a fairy or something, or dream or nightmare or something. And if possible, I'd like.
How are you talking to Kobe?
Oh, I can't talk through the hole.
There's no hole yet.
Okay. Sorry, I thought we broke through. I thought that's okay. Well, there's nothing I can do to help Kobe then.
All right, so your fate is in Kobe's hands now. Kobe, you hear Kobe roar, Fortanyan!
What the fuck, Kobe? Are you kidding me?
And you hear a cracking sound, and a guy go, oh!
Well, I guess whatever you did worked.
Holy shit.
Oh, did Kobe just run in there? God damn it, Kobe.
Like, literally, all that he had to do was fly away. He's probably like dozens of feet away in the dark. All this guy sees is like this floating, like, dark shape. Could be anything.
The next moment you hear clack, clack, clack.
Alright, well, it worked, and a dead witness isn't a witness, so I'm going to keep chipping away at my side. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is too funny.
Chunks of stone and hardened clay, like, kind of, flick inwards to where you are, Kobe, and you see like this little crack, this hole in like Kobe's eyes on the other side. Can you hear me in there?
I heard your hole.
Okay.
Escapade.
I think I just killed that guy. Is this good enough?
I think you need to make the hole a little wider. Actually, no, he doesn't. He's just probably fine.
Yeah, it's water. It'll go through. Yeah. You're controlling it.
Okay. All right. What do I do? I go down and I got the wagon. Put the water in the barrels. What do I do with the body? What do I do with the body?
Hide it in the cart. We may be able to give it to Lykarr later. Again, I totally, in character, did not plan to do this, but, it seems like a worthwhile happenstance that involves not having to intentionally kill someone for the purpose. So, really, I'm just avoiding a murder.
All right. So you get your water shaping going on. You've got like this rivulet that's like flows up over the edge, snakes across the floor, and just like, gets into that little crack and starts flowing down the outside. And Kobe's down there just like filling up the barrels. He flies back up to the crack. You want me to make this bigger? It's flowing kind of slow.
Yeah. Well,
all right. He's whack, whack, crack. All right. So now he's got like a good like fist. Bigger. He's got a good fist-sized hole, and it's flowing.
That's
flowing much better.
No more whacking. No more distractions like that. Yeah.
All right. So he's filling up barrels. and the festivities continue through the night. There is much drunkenness and much face stuffing, and there's feasting. There's like a fight that breaks out with a couple of guys, and they're slugging it out. And there's people hooking up, and it's a right, proper wedding. And not a soul comes peeping back around the lee side of that building until all of the barrels in the wagon have been filled. There are, let's see, I want to think of wagon, barrels. Why not? We'll say there's 20 barrels filled in the wagon.
So all the water?
More or less.
There's probably a little left. Like
there's a little
last
puddle.
drop.
Kivish, do you want to get like every last
shit.
little drop out?
He could get every last drop out.
Yeah, if I can.
Okay.
I don't really want Kyleck to have it. You know?
Okay. Kyleck's hot tub is bone dry.
Now what you gotta do is paint a picture of the pool and just lay it out over top of the pool so it looks like it's full. Jumps into it, just rips right through the painting, hits the bottom.
Are you leaving the note from
nobody ever
Kick On?
mentioned writing it down, so I'm just going to take a piece of charcoal and write Kick On sends his regards.
Kick On sends his regards, like right on the wall. Okay. What's the plan now, guys?
Or maybe should I write Morpheus sends his regards, and then on a wall write Kick On was here. That way, if it ever needs someone to chase, he'll be the one taking the heat, not us.
You know, that's fine. I'm all for it, but it's your decision. No one else.
I'm just gonna go.
Gonna need to move the wagon. It's a little obvious.
Oh yeah, definitely the wagon.
Anyway, now that that's done, I'm gonna use my other wild shape for the day and climb out the hole as a spider and back down the side of the building.
Okay.
Your wild shapes refresh every short rest, by the way.
Yes, but I have not had a short rest.
Every short rest.
Short rest?
Yes.
Wow, really?
Yeah, druids are broken.
Holy smokes!
Well, that's why they have to.
I thought it was every long rest.
I did too until I looked it up for a game.
Holy crap! Is that right?
Yeah.
Short or long rest? Holy smokes!
Yeah, druids are broken as hell.
Wow! Wow. Okay. So, we got Kivish and Kobe. We got a wagon with 20 barrels of mystical water. This is one heavy wagon here.
Yeah, we're gonna need like 2 horses.
All right, so are you going for horses now?
Yeah, I think now is the time to get the horses, hitch them to the wagon. Unfortunately, like, just the way this all played out, I think leaving in the night is a better play than waiting because the wagon's going to be way too heavy.
Right.
We believe that they're empty barrels.
Right. Plus, leaving in the night, I mean, it's not like they're going to come after us.
No, what we'll do is we'll leave a note saying that we, went for a,
We wanted to get a strong start and, go before it got too hot.
I wanted to make my new father-in-law happy, and so as a surprise, I'd set out a little early to bring him that water.
Yep.
That he wanted.
Okay. And the brides.
I'm sure they're really exhausted.
Okay, so you're just gonna leave the brides sleeping?
Yeah, they're really exhausted, I'm sure. So yeah,
I'm sure they are too.
Yeah.
All right. So I rolled for like the guard and the watch and all that stuff, and it was a nat 1.
That's amazing.
So you basically got like drunken, passed out Horncomb Lodge.
Perfect.
And you all in the middle of the night with like 2 strapping draft horses on this like heavy loaded up wagon of barrels.
There's just one
out to the Badlands.
Wait, there's one last point of order before I leave. I gotta get the boy and the woman. Oh, And since we're breaking them out, kind of, without breaking them out, I'll get the man too, because he'll be the other sacrifice.
Yeah, that's true. Or he'll prove useful.
Or he'll prove useful. One way or the other, they're all coming with us. Prisoners are coming with us.
Sounds
Prisoners
good.
are coming with.
And I
Okay.
can totally justify it because I walk up to the guards at the jailhouse and I say, as a wedding gift, Lord Eck has decreed that they will be set free and they'll come with us.
Sure.
And so I want them out of these chains and ready to travel.
Okay. So you have the 3 prisoners. You set out into the night with your cart and your water.
All right, I like it.
Okay, awesome. I'll give everyone a milestone.
That was some crazy shit.
I can't
I
believe
did
it
not
worked.
expect. I know, right? I think everyone.
I
was
rolled
thinking the
really
same.
high on Kobe, and I rolled a nat 1 for like the town watch and the overall vigilance state.
I love that code. I was so scared. I was like, all this planning on this ship by one NPC, and just Kobe being like Tanya. I'm like, no, you don't shout that. And then I realized they killed the guy, and I was like, okay, I can still make this work. We can still make this. We can still do it.
Dead witness isn't a witness. It's last witness killed. 100 bounty removed from Kill March.
The humor, though, Esper, of that moment made everything worth it. Like, that was so perfect.
Yeah. Well, we're like, okay, let's see. What does Kobe have in him? Natural 17. All right. Then.
I just want to say, if Kobe makes it back to the ship alive with us, he definitely gets a stat block.
Yeah. Well, we'll get if he makes it back to the ship alive, he'll get a stat block. I mean, he has a stat block now, but he'll get like a leveled up stat block.
He'll get like his milestones have accumulated.
Yeah, very much so.
Oh man.
I think this is a great point to stop, and
Sure.
we will start next session with the party out in the Badlands with their cart, and who knows what else is going to unfold.
I love it. Like, this was the most nervous session for me of going in with a plan that was going to fall apart. I thought everything was going to fall apart
There
horribly.
were many places where it could have fallen totally apart.
Yeah, one bad die roll away from disaster.
I just want to say, like,
That's
all
what
our skills, though, were necessary to this plan.
Yeah.
Druid wild shaping, invisibility of the sorcerer,
Yep.
being able to blink through walls, just like everything
being
came
able to run the
together.
water surreptitiously down the side rather than having to
Exactly.
drop it down the main thing or somehow suck
Kobe
it out the top.
just being an extra guy that no one pays attention to, being able to, be the guy that cracked the wall open.
And being lucky, and what did he do? Drop a rock?
No, he bashed the guy's skull open with his hammer.
Just flew
I
down
assume
and
that he flew
Yes,
down, just
he
like
flew down like in the midair charge, like Fort Tanyan.
wow,
Yeah, so you got a dead body on the wagon too.
cool. I hope Kikon doesn't mind carry-on.
Probably not.
Carry out.
Thank you guys. Another fantastic session.
Thanks, Hesper. That was a lot of fun.
yeah, that
Awesome.
was.
I
man.
greatly enjoyed it, and I look forward to the next one.
I'm gonna have some stories to tell this week to some people.
Hell yeah. Thanks
yeah,
everybody who watched live or those that are watching it later, and we'll look forward to the next episode.
Yes, indeed.